Welcome, everyone, to episode 389 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Eric.
Will.
Corey.
So today's episode is going to be our 2018 Thumbies episode. We are not going to have any other segments. It's going to be Thumbies for the entire go. We also are also experimenting with a different format this year. We are going to each list some nominees for each category, and we're going to talk about it live and choose a winner or decide to not have the category, I guess, right? This is probably going to be a couple of those where we're not going to be able to
hash it out.
We'll hash it out. We'll hash it out all live, and obviously we'll let you know if there's a winner, if there's not a winner. So we'll see how this goes. I have no idea how it's going to go. But yeah,
we
just
should say there's a very good reason. We've talked about doing this in the past.
Yeah, we have
this style of award, but kind of settled on the idea that the way we play games and consume games and talk about them is it's all very personal. You know, we're not out there trying to write articles and cover everything and have a good objective opinion of everything. It's a much more subjective award show.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, we prefer to have our own awards and just assign a point value to them, and then whoever wins. But in this case, I think it's because we didn't play as many games, so we're kind of...
That's part of it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's get started. So the first category is the one that got away. This award goes out to a game that we enjoyed but stopped playing for whatever reason. Will, what are your nominees?
So my three nominees, Dan, are Ni no Kuni 2, Red Dead Redemption 2, God of War.
Mm-hmm. Eric, nominees?
God of War, Far Cry 5, Forza Horizon 4, and Monster Hunter World.
Okay. Corey?
I had Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Dragon Quest 11, Monster Hunter, and God of War. I threw in a fourth one. I hope that's all right.
Okay. I've got Far Cry 5, Frostpunk, and Monster Hunter World. So it looks like Monster Hunter World's on 3 of our lists. Far
Dan,
Cry
you
5.
had Far Cry 5.
I also had Far Cry 5.
Okay, and then
God of
Corey
War
Will
was on
had
3.
God of
right?
War was on 3 also. So probably between those two, right?
Yeah, I guess it would be.
Okay.
Well, no, Forza Horizon.
I put in about 20 hours into it.
All right.
So I do think I needed to play more of it. I do want to play more of it, but 20 hours is a good amount of time to get a feel for a game. Whereas with God of War, Red Dead Redemption, Ni no Kuni, I put probably no more than 4 hours in any of those 3 games. So I regret it for at least 2 of the 3. But
All right.
So what do we think? Does anyone feel really strongly one way or the other?
Yeah,
Well,
I would pick God of War.
God of War.
This award's weird for this because this is a very personal award. It's
Yeah.
it's basically saying which game do you want to play more of, and it's hard to come to a group decision on that.
Yeah, I feel like Corey's going to say Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't really care, so whatever you guys want. I'm fine with God of War.
For me, I would say God of War, largely due to the praise that it got in national games media. Not that I always think they're right, but I think in this case they probably were, based off of what I played of it. And the reason I didn't get to play more of it is because I traded my PS4 in towards an Xbox One X.
Yeah, same.
So that's one of the couple. There's 2 games on PS4 that I really, really wish I had gotten to play either at all or more of, and that's one of them, because I really enjoyed my time with it. I did start a little slow, which I think Corey would attest to.
Mm-hmm.
Is one of his reasons he'd probably pick Monster Hunter. But yeah, I just think, and Monster Hunter for me is like such a friggin' like slog, because there's so much to it. Where God of War for me these days is definitely one I feel like I could put a lot more time into had I kept the PS4, where I did have access to Monster Hunter on my Xbox. I just chose not to play it because it's such a slog to get through those games. So I guess those are kind of my reasons for God of War.
Huh?
Yeah, I mean, I'll pick up from there. With all the attention that this game got and the fact that I only put in 3 or 4 hours, I think it's I didn't give the game nearly enough time that it deserves, and it would probably be around for a lot more of my a lot more of my categories, but unfortunately I didn't play more of it to be able to give it its due, and that's why I look at a game like Red Dead Redemption 2, that was critically acclaimed as well, and Cooney, that game I know Corey loved and Dan really loved, but I think God of War holds more Game of the Year winners this year, and I feel like that's probably the biggest game that's omitted from our lists for everything at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
So I think it's good to at least say that we didn't play God of War, and that's why I won't be around for people who don't listen to us or are new and why haven't these guys picked God of War for anything?
Much like Horizon Zero Dawn, the year that came out.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I'm fine with saying God of War 2. I don't necessarily feel strongly about Monster Hunter World. I really liked it, but like Eric said, it was a little too much of an investment of time for me. Trying to spread my wings as much as I could this year with what little time I had. So,
just quickly, I think it would be fun to just say which one we would have if we were ranking these. Which one we would have at the top, or no?
Yeah.
Oh, mine would be God of War for sure.
Same.
Okay.
I would
Mine
have
be Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
I would have Monster Hunter probably at my top,
Corey,
but I don't feel strongly about any of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
I didn't put Assassin's Creed on this list, even though I started it. I really only played it for 30 minutes, so I didn't even qualify it for one that got away.
Yeah.
I put it in another category. But yeah, I would imagine if I had put a little more time in it, that one probably would have competed with God of War more than Monster Hunter for me.
Yeah, I'm with you. I played half an hour and I really liked it, but it was on Project Stream and I couldn't stomach the bad frame.
If there's one thing that we come out of this Thumbies tonight, it's play Odyssey.
Yeah. Okay. So God of War, winner?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chicken dinner.
Winner.
All right, let me put that on there. So the winner of the 2018 Thumbie Award for the one that got away is God of War. Very nice.
Yeesh. Blue ribbon.
God. I would have had paper. That probably would have been better, but I couldn't find any. Okay, so our second category, 2018's 2017 Game of the Year. This award goes to a game that came out last year that we spent the most time playing this year. Corey, nominees.
I had Divinity Original Sin 2. That came out last year, right?
Yep.
Okay. Divinity Original Sin 2, and then I kind of cheated with my second one. I put Hollow Knight because I know it came out this year, but
On the Switch.
Yeah.
We've done that in the past, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's you can put it for both if you played it on the Switch. I mean, if it came out on the Switch this year, came out on PC last year, right?
My defense was it came out on 4 different platforms this year and only 1 last year, so I counted it for this year.
It's fair. Go ahead, Corey.
That's it.
Okay. Will, nominees.
Yeah, so my nominees are Civ 6, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm. My nominees are Breath of the Wild and Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. Eric, what are your nominees?
I gotta tell you, off the top of my head, I couldn't think of anything that I played
Okay.
that fit in this category.
All right.
Yep, and I didn't have enough time to really dig into it, so I
Yeah.
did not have a nominee.
Well, because then you have to go through and see what games released last year that you might have played at the beginning
Right.
of
And
this
even
year.
if I had, it would have been super minimal.
Right.
I wouldn't even feel like I could put up a strong argument, so
Yeah. Okay.
abstained.
All right. I mean, I feel very strongly about Breath of the Wild. I played, I don't know, probably 100 hours of it this year. So that's my one. I don't feel super strongly about Hellblade. I liked it, but it didn't do anything for me compared to Breath of the Wild. So, Corey, what are your thoughts?
I don't really have any other than I really loved Divinity Original Sin 2, and I think I can't remember the time frame of when I played that, but I feel like it was early this year, and then I think I picked it up again a little bit later, maybe over the summer or something like that. I loved that game. I loved Hollow Knight, but yeah, I don't feel very strongly about either. I played so few games this year that I don't know.
Okay.
Just one of those things.
Will?
I really don't feel too strongly about any of them. I've played Horizon, Civ, and Breath of the Wild all this year. I would say Breath of the Wild is the game from last year I look back the most fondly of and think about the most. So I would definitely probably put Breath of the Wild as my number one.
Okay. Eric, outsider's perspective.
From the games that I have heard you gentlemen speak of, I would say Breath of the Wild. Darn good game.
Yeah. Corey, you okay with Breath of the Wild as a consensus pick?
That's fine.
Okay. So the winner of the 2018's 2017 Game of the Year is Breath of the Wild. Put that on my list because if I don't write it down, I'm going to forget. Next category is Best Multiplayer Experience. This award goes out to a game that excels in the areas of multiplayer, both online and in person.
Do we bother?
Do we bother? Yeah, no. I mean, I think we're probably gonna easily come to a consensus on this, right?
Yeah.
Well, why don't we go ahead, Eric? You can start with your nominees.
Surprisingly, I did add Super Smash Brothers Ultimate to my list this year.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
COD Blops 4.
Uh-huh.
I actually really enjoyed, and Madden 19, solely because of the co-op, or not co-op, connected franchise that I take part in.
Okay.
That I've had a good time with this season.
All right, Will.
Yeah, so funny. I got Blops 4 as well. It was a lot of fun. I want to get back to the Battle Royale because it's probably my favorite Battle Royale.
You know, Court, just real quick, Will. Sorry, I almost put just that in Game That Got Away, just that specific mode.
Because we played it like a lot,
a couple times, yeah.
When it first started, and then we never went back to it.
Right.
And it was really good. After that, I got Dragon Ball Fighters, which it's my number 2, and obviously you guys probably know what my number 1 is, Smash Brothers. So.
Yep. Okay. Corey, nominees.
yeah, I had a Smash, definite. I also had Dragon Ball Is it Fighters or Fighter Z?
Fighters.
Having only played that briefly with Will one night over Christmas, but the Dragon Ball brand is enough to get me excited. And then I had Super Mario Party as well.
That's a good one,
Super
actually.
Mario, I totally forgot about that one. I'd like to throw my hat in the Mario Party bucket too.
Mario Party making a comeback.
Mostly because Corey fucking sucks at that game.
I do suck at that game.
You know, it's completely luck.
That's the dark horse pick, right?
Yeah.
So I had Smash Brothers, obviously, Monster Hunter World, and then Sea of Thieves I picked because I had fun with that, even though I played mostly by myself, but wandering across the occasional pirate was fun. But both of those pale in comparison to Smash Brothers Ultimate. Yeah. I mean, that's our pick, right?
Should we talk about, a little bit about our experience, even though...
Yeah, of course.
we had an episode about it for those that didn't listen to the episode.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess I can talk about it. Well, these three gentlemen here that we do the podcast with, the Mirtha Boys, talked about getting together for the Smash release weekend, and I said, well, so I'll see if I can get a flight up there. So I went up too, and we had a fun-filled weekend. We put in at least 24 hours worth of Super Smash Ultimate. Just had good food, good drinks, good times. One of the better times I've had in quite some time, just playing video games and sitting on my ass with my buddies. It was great.
Amen.
And the game itself was tremendous. I mean, just, in the past, I'm sure I have probably not talked the most glowingly about Smash Brothers. If I went back and listened, I have given Will shit about Smash Brothers, I would imagine.
Yep.
For years, years you did.
This one is really, really fun, though. I don't know what the difference is, but I have had so much more fun with this version than I did with other ones. Just doing, all of the different stuff on it, but specifically the multiplayer, like in person, sitting on a couch with other people, it really would be tough to beat that experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. And you could play up to 8 players on one screen, which is unheard of. I know
Did we do 6 at one point or 5?
I think we had 5.
5 was our most.
Yeah.
And getting the GameCube controller back in the hand.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
I was I've never been so excited to go to the store and buy a controller.
Mm-hmm. It's a game changer for that game. It's like it's made for Smash Brothers.
No doubt about it. I won't play it without it now.
No, I can't either. It's embarrassing.
I can't believe people play it with another controller scheme.
Yep.
It doesn't make sense.
To give the game a few more brownie points, at least the little bit of experience I have playing online against people went very smooth and worked surprisingly well too.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So yeah.
They fixed a lot of the online stuff. People are still going crazy about it being terrible, but I actually haven't had any issues with it since when it first came out. So
yeah.
Yep.
In agreement. So yeah, the 2018 Thumbie Award for Best Multiplayer Experience goes to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Okay. Big surprise. Next category is Most Complete Experience. Right? Because my numbers are messed up. Did I miss a category?
I just noticed that.
There's no 4.
There is no 4. Okay. Because me and Will went through and deleted a couple categories, and I must just not have changed the numbers.
I just took the numbers out and left it in the order you had it.
Okay. Perfect.
I think we should move a category up real quick.
Okay.
While it's still early.
What do you think?
We wish we played.
Yeah, we can get that out of the way. That's a good idea. I think we did that last year too.
Only because for people who are listening, they'll get a good context for what we just didn't even get a chance to play this year.
Yeah. That one should probably go first or second.
Yeah.
I think we did that last year. I know we did them out of order. What number was that one?
17.
On the list.
17. Oh, okay. Game. All right. So yes, next category is game we wish we played. So this award goes to a game we didn't get a chance to play this year for whatever reason. Will, go ahead.
So this is the one that I have the most nominees for. I actually have 5. But Celeste, Detroit 2 Human, Valkyria Chronicles 4, Battlefield 5, and Spider-Man.
Okay. Eric?
Yes. I have quite a few for this one as well. This is kind of a silly one, but it's a game I have wanted to play for a while now. And it came out on Switch this year, which was Dragon Quest Builders.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was on my list last year too, for whatever else it came out on. Dead Cells is one that has always had my interest and gets very well reviewed, and I haven't had a chance. Spider-Man was a game I was super excited about because of who made it, and like I said, I traded my PS4 in, so I didn't have a chance to play it. Is it Gris, Dan?
Gris, yes.
Gris on Switch, which I am going to buy.
Me too.
And play, so that could be a nominee for a category next year for us. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Hitman 2, because I loved the last one, had a really good time with it, and when Will said Detroit 2 Human, I added that to my list as well.
Okay. Corey?
I've got Valkyria Chronicles 4, Moss, although I don't know if Moss came out this year.
I think it came out. I think it came out of early access this year, so I think it is released this year.
Yeah, that sounds right. I have Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. I also have Dead Cells and Gris.
Mm-hmm. I have Red Dead Redemption 2. Yes, I didn't play that. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, because I only played about half an hour. It's not really playing it. And then I put Return of the Obra Dinn. That's winning a lot of people's Game of the Year. So
what's this now? I never heard of that.
It's an indie game. I'm not even sure what it's about, but the art style is like one of the most unique things I've ever seen. It looks like it was drawn on.
I know it's on PC.
PC, yeah. I'm not sure. It might be on other platforms, but
it's made by the Papers, Please people.
Yeah.
So.
Oh.
It's really, really cool looking. So that's one I really wanted to play. But I could have had a really lengthy list too. You guys mentioned Dead Cells. That would be on my list. So yeah. That's what.
So are you going to add Dead Cells to your list then?
No, I wanted to keep 3 games. Those are the top 3 that I would say I wish I had played. So.
So Dan, run yours through me one more time.
Red Dead Redemption 2, which I know everyone else played, so that wouldn't be a competitor, I guess. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and then Return of the Obra Dinn.
I think that we could form an argument that we wish you had played that as well.
Yeah.
Or at least Corey and I could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 of us have Assassin's Creed Odyssey. 2 of us have Spider-Man.
Okay. Oh, who's the other one that had Spider-Man?
Will.
Well, I'm trying to take notes here.
2 of us have Valkyria Chronicles 4.
Valkyria Chronicles, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be on my list too, but I like I said, I wanted to keep it at 3.
Yeah, I don't feel strongly enough about Detroit 2 Human, even though Will and I both had it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I have that high on my list, but most of these games I'm kind of okay with winning, so
Yeah.
I'm all right with pretty much whatever with this
Well,
one.
I'm thinking right here, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
I would pick that one too, considering I said if we come out of this podcast with one thing, you guys need to play it.
Yeah.
How does
I
it
would either say that or I wish Dan had played Red Dead.
specifically me playing Red Dead?
Maybe we throw a real wrench in it and just pick that.
I'm fine with either or, to be honest.
Yeah, I think Assassin's Creed should
Assassin's
be the
Creed.
winner here.
Okay, I'm cool. I'm good with that.
Gentlemen agree?
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I like
on
it.
board.
All right.
All right.
So the winner of the 2017 Thumby Award for a game we wish we played is Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Not that we care, but it probably wouldn't be a good look if the number one game we wish we played was Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, true.
Fair enough.
And
Good
one
point.
game of the year, possibly, even though we didn't play it.
All right, next on the list, most complete experience. This award goes to a game that comes in a well-rounded package. Eric, we'll start with you. Nominees.
I always have a hard time with this category.
Yeah, it's open to
I do too.
interpretation.
Yeah, I guess, so the two games I put on there, and I did put God of War on there because I felt like I played enough to realize that it was complete, but, you know, I never know if I should not put that on there because it doesn't have a multiplayer aspect to it, you know?
Mhm.
So I put Red Dead Redemption 2 and God of War, and I guess I'm probably going to put Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on there.
Okay.
Those would be my three.
Will?
So I've got Smash Brothers Ultimate, Forza Horizon 4, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
You know what? I'm going to put Forza on mine too.
Forza's a good pick. I only have one game on here, and it's Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. I'll explain why. Corey, go ahead.
I had Celeste in Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Yeah,
Celeste.
What's Celeste
I
on there
think-
for, Corey?
So the way I interpret this category is it's the game that I look back fondly on without any sort of issues with it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it has to be a good game, obviously, and I have to enjoy it, but it's just something I look back on and I'm like, man, you know, that was just a really all-around good time playing a video game.
Okay.
That's sort of what I base it on. But
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I picked Super Smash Brothers Ultimate because it has something for everyone. Because I spent some time in the Nintendo Switch subreddit, and people are like, "Oh, I don't like playing online multiplayer games. Am I okay to get Smash Brothers Ultimate?" And I think the World of Light aspect alone is enough of a game itself to warrant just a single player purchase. And then it's got obviously all the online modes and the classic mode and Spirit Board and all that stuff, in addition to the couch co-op aspects. So
Plus,
that
I
was
would say,
my
like,
pick.
Smash is even fun just single player against the computer.
Yeah,
It's challenging enough to
honing
crank
your
it up.
skills. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Not to mention, this is literally the most complete Smash Brothers game there's been. It literally has every bit of content from the past games in this game. So, like the
Sounds
more
like we have a
literal,
winner.
yeah, the literal interpretation for Smash Brothers Ultimate. You know,
yeah, Ultimate. Okay.
All
You guys want to make any arguments for any other games?
I don't think I have a better argument than that.
Nope.
Okay.
yeah. I mean, I feel very strongly about my other two, but I also don't have a better argument. So
I would say
Gotcha.
Forza Horizon would
Forza
be
would be
second for me.
close. Yeah, I played that for like half an hour. It's awesome.
Always
I
such
didn't
a
play
good
enough.
package.
Yeah. Because it has the single player stuff, it has the multiplayer stuff, it has, endless customization. But yeah, the winner of the 2018 Thumby for most complete experience is Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Okay. Category number 6. I guess it is 6 now because we moved up the other one. Breath of Fresh Air. So this award goes to a game that brings a little something new to the table outside of your run-of-the-mill FPS or open-world RPG, though it could be one of those games with a twist. So, Will, what are your games?
So, I like to go off the wall with this one. I actually don't pick games. I pick more trends that have been going on.
Okay.
So, my first one that I have for a nomination is the strong showing of single-player games. We live in a world where a lot of the multiplayer games are taking over, like Fortnite, PUBG, the Blops Battle Royale, all of those, like those are the more popular dominant games. But the strong showing of single player games is still going on. Like there's a lot of really good single player games that are still coming out, and kind of it's nice to have those still. My next one is Bethesda is no longer the golden boy. I love seeing that. They're taking a lot of flack this year. And my other one is Ubisoft coming out strong with some really good games. I think this is the best run that they've been on for as long as I can remember, because when we started this, we used to relentlessly pick on Ubisoft, and everybody in the gaming community used to pick on Ubisoft. But now, like, their games are pretty darn good. So those are my three.
Mm-hmm. Eric, what do you got?
I said God of War, mostly because of how different it was from the other God of War games. I thought that would categorize it for breath of fresh air, and how good it was considering how much they changed what it used to be. And then I said Celeste. I guess I don't know if it's a breath of fresh air because those kind of games have been around for a long time, but I would say none of them really hooked me the way that one did. Yep. So those were the two that I had.
Okay. Corey?
I only had one, and it was Octopath Traveler. I know we get a lot of retro RPGs, but this is the first time I've seen one that was done with a modern touch. You know, all the modern effects and the, what do they call it? The fake 3D. There's a word for whatever that's called.
The art style was awesome.
Yeah. I just thought the art style, the storytelling, I mean, everything. It was a retro RPG, like, on steroids. And to me, that was kind of refreshing because we do see a lot of these games come out, and I feel like the same kind of people eat them up. But to have one come in late, and it seems like it was fairly popular, right? How many copies did they sell?
It did really well.
A few million.
Yeah, I mean, that's not my kind of game at all, but I love that game.
Yeah.
Okay. My nominees were Celeste, Into the Breach, and Kirby Star Allies. Celeste because just like Corey talked about earlier with it being like a complete, like, nicely bundled up experience, and having a platformer with like a good story is a different experience for me, you know. An interesting.
You haven't
story.
played Braid, have you?
I have not played Braid. No. I know that's blasphemy, but Into the Breach just because I don't know, it was a really contained grid game. I don't know. I like that one. Kirby Star Allies because I've never played a Kirby game. It was fun and light and but also had some epic boss fights. So that was different.
I know nothing about that game.
I don't either. I was actually going to ask Dan to talk about it because I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, I mean it's basically a platformer, and but Kirby in this one has like friends that follow him and do different things. So
did you play it with the family?
No, I played it by myself.
Okay.
I bought it with the intention of playing with the family, but they didn't get interested in it until like maybe 2 or 3 months ago. They started playing it. So yeah. All right. So some similarities. We got Celeste.
Yeah.
That's one. Were there any other duplicates?
No, I think that was it.
No, but I do back the Octopath argument.
Yeah,
I would be good with Octopath.
I would be
too.
okay with Octopath, even though I didn't put it on my list. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, Corey makes a good argument.
Yeah, I actually I would sub Into the Breach with Octopath Traveler. Now that I think about it,
Is that our winner?
Yeah, if I was actually picking games, Octopath would be what I'd pick. Because as Corey said, like other companies try to do the old school JRPG. If you look at like Blosphere, I Am Setsuna, like they don't really hit the mark as well as Octopath Traveler did. So
yeah,
No,
totally
completely agree. I Am Setsuna couldn't hold Octopath Jock.
No.
not even close.
could
Yeah.
not. And the battle system, so good. Like that's one of the few games that I never got bored of the side battles. You know, that doesn't happen often.
It's just like a AAA retro RPG. It's great.
Okay, so the winner for the 2018 Thumbie for Breath of Fresh Air is Octopath Traveler. Next category is Please Stop. So this award goes out to a game or industry practice that seriously needs to stop. Eric, what do you got?
I feel like I say this one every year. Let's stop with the yearly releases of EA Sports games and just give us a fucking updated roster. I'll pay you what you want for it.
Okay.
But I just think they could give us an updated roster and some changes for $30 or $40. I'm good with it. So that's my first one.
Okay.
Second one is Bethesda, mostly their game engine. I was annoyed when they said they were keeping their game engine for whatever. Was it the new Elder Scrolls game?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that really annoyed me. Like, they just need to update it. I feel like enough people have bitched about how janky. Like, when a Bethesda game comes out, everybody's like, well, you have to expect the jank.
Yeah.
But at some point, why do we need that? Like,
Yep.
You shouldn't expect that
Yeah.
at this point when other games are coming out, like, flawless. Like, look at a game like Red Dead. It's so
Mhm.
big and, like, there's no jank, you know?
Yeah, if you look at Horizon, who is a first-person shooter studio, they made an open-world RPG better
Yeah.
than Bethesda has, and they've
Yeah.
never made a game like that.
Yeah. So, those are my two.
Okay. Will, go ahead.
So my first one is poorly, this is the key word, shoehorning politics into games. I couldn't select Life is Strange for anything this year. I have to wait until next year. So that's my way of kind of quietly nominating it. And Whiny Gamers is my other one.
Okay.
Get behind both of those arguments.
Yeah.
They're the biggest bunch of children.
So I have Fallout 76, just in general. So it goes along with Eric's Bethesda stuff.
That got another nomination for me later.
Okay. And then digital card games is my other pet peeve. Valve has for the longest time not developed a game, and then when they announced that they were going to release a game this year, and it was what Artifact, was that it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what a disappointment that was with all the great games they have that they could be making, and they came out with it's not just that, it's the Bethesda card game, the Witcher card game, and they may be good. I don't know. I don't care.
I was just gonna say, I've heard the Witcher one is really good.
They probably are good, but I just don't care.
Yeah.
I've heard enough. Hearthstone, that's kind of Hearthstone and Magic. They're kind of the originals, in the digital space. But after that, go ahead, Corey.
Mario Party. It's one of those love-hate games. I love the idea of it, and I love, what was it, Mario Party 2, the one on was it GameCube?
Yeah, I don't
The
remember.
one that was really good. But it's like every year I play it, I'm just a little disappointed. I mean, it's fine, it does the job, but I just feel like there's so much potential for the Mario
Totally
Party
agree with what you're
games.
saying.
They just leave so much on the table, and I mean, I buy it, and I'm a little disappointed, and I still boot it up and play it, but I'm more pissed off while I play it than I am happy.
Yeah.
But I still play it.
Corey, I think you're exactly right. Like there's such a good base for a game there.
Yeah,
But you just never feel like it takes that next step
right.
to be great.
The boards, they look cool, but once you get in them, they're kind of uninspired.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you play them a couple times, and you're like, all right, well, I mean, I've
Yep.
done this,
Yep. They didn't have very many characters this game, which I don't really mind. But the mini games, I mean, some of them are like press a button. That's not a mini game. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what are we going with here, fellas?
Well,
Whiny gamers.
Yeah, let me make a defense for that.
yeah.
I think we're all on board with that mentality.
Well, I was a little harsh when I was going over my nominations, but this is why I've selected that. The Blizzard thing really got to me. Did Blizzard screw that up? 100%. But freaking out over a mobile Diablo game when Diablo 4 is being made, like, relax. And on top of that, I was so sick of people freaking out over the Smash leaks being fake and then going after Sakurai over not putting their favorite obscure cult classic character into the game. Like, get over yourself. There's literally almost 80 characters in the Smash Brothers game, and you're freaking out because Isaac from Golden Sun, who's been in one game ever, isn't in the game.
Well, I'm with you, but I think it's just outrage culture. It's like whoever can craft the loudest, most angry argument gets the most fake internet points. So everybody's competing to do that.
Well, yeah, and like you get on
Big
Reddit and
points.
like everyone's applauding each other and like over Waluigi. Like nobody really likes Waluigi that much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's fine as an assistant
Like,
trophy for the love of God. I don't know. It just it gets to me, and it used to never really bother me because I was like, it doesn't really matter. But like recently this year, it's really been getting under my skin about how just entitled they are. I don't know.
And then you try to stop paying attention to it, but then you're out of the loop with things like me.
Honestly,
I don't
my
know
view-
what's going on because I never read articles or anything anymore.
Well, do you know what the problem is? It's Reddit.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
That's where
See,
a
I'm
lot
never
of it
on
stems-
Reddit.
Yeah, that's where a lot of it stems from.
There's
In
a
the
subreddit
chat.
I subscribe to called Reddit for Grown-ups.
That's amazing. In the chat, Reefer says Corey sold him on Mario Party. And Idaho Jake said he does like Bethesda, but it's time to upgrade
Mm-hmm.
So
for what it's worth. I'd say we're between Mario Party and Whiny Gamers here. Unless, Dan, do you feel more strongly about the Bethesda thing?
I mean, I don't have no. I just put Fallout 76 because that just was unnecessary. I think they, they could have made Fallout 76 as like their normal single player Fallout, and people would have loved it probably. But they had to do a stupid online thing, so I don't feel necessarily strongly about that.
and I'm also gonna guess Fallout 76 comes up again later.
I'm
yeah,
sure.
I have it nominated.
I can't imagine for what.
Jeez, I almost want to pick Mario Party here.
I will concede Mario Party partly because I think it's a funnier pick.
Well, I think really what it comes down to is Corey's just not very good at it, but
Well,
Hey.
that plays into it. Corey's the one that always loses to us, and
Right.
says, "Please stop."
I'm fine with Mario Party if that's what we want to go
Yep.
with.
Yep.
I understand, Corey, your and I'll talk about it a little bit later, but not living up to the potential to what a Nintendo game specifically could be.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't played that one, but
yes, you have.
Mario Party. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I played the first one, so I know what
You're good.
I know what it's about. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right, Corey. Literally, the mini games are just press A, and then that's the whole mini game.
Well, I think we talked a little bit about Fusion Frenzy. Like, we all look back very fondly on that. Maybe it's just rose-tinted... What's the phrase?
Glasses.
Glasses.
That's it? That's the whole phrase?
Yeah.
Rose-tinted,
Anyway,
rose-colored.
I don't know. Like, I just think back on some of those mini games. They were much more in-depth. There was strategy and luck involved, not all luck.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like an example is that fishing mini game that we played, where you had to pull the longest fish out. There
Yeah.
was no skill to that. You were literally just guessing what fish was
No,
in
no,
the
no,
fish.
not true. If you went around to the puddles, you had to feel which had a bigger vibration.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sure.
No, that is
He's right,
true.
but, like,
Really?
I don't know. It's even so, there's, like, 5 puddles and there's 4 players, and
Yeah,
it's like,
so yeah,
wow.
like you might as well grab the first one, just hope for the best.
Yeah.
I rescind my fishing mini game.
No, it's still stupid.
Yeah,
Alright.
I'm good with Mario Party.
Mario Party?
Your party.
Which
2 in a row that Corey sold us on.
one was
Yeah.
it? Which Mario Party?
Super Mario
Hang on,
Party?
I got the box right over here.
Okay.
It's called... Never mind, I don't.
I think it's Super Mario Party.
A Super Mario Party sounds right.
Okay, I'll put
I don't think I had a number.
So the winner for the 2018 Thumbie for Please Stop, Super Mario Party. There it is. Next,
Sell, Corey.
yeah. Next on the list is Best Keepsake. This award goes to a game that has given you some sort of takeaway from the game. I'll start. My nominations are Celeste, Frostpunk, and Octopath Traveler. Corey, what do you have?
I had one game, and it was Red Dead Redemption 2.
Eric?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Octopath Traveler. But I guess I can get into why after.
Mm-hmm. Will? What do you got?
I've got Hollow Knight, Spyro Reignited, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Okay. So we've got a few different things here. Eric, we'll start with you. Octopath Traveler, what's...
Yeah, I would say the thing that game allowed me to take away from it, aside from all the great things we already talked about with it, was the fact that there's probably a whole genre of games out there that I haven't experienced too much and thought I was never a fan of, but maybe I've grown into being kind of a fan of them. So, at some point I'd like to maybe try some of those other ones, some of those JRPGs, and see if I can get into them like I did with Octopath.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Corey, what about you?
So for me, for Keepsake, it's sort of something that I get outside of just sitting and what I get just sitting and playing a video game.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really hard for me, having beaten Red Dead Redemption 2, it was really hard for me to look at that epic that I experienced and not consider it for a keepsake.
Right.
It's not normally my style of game. I think last year or 2 years ago I picked Bury Me My Love, like generally smaller experiences that speak to me on a bigger level than just games. But in this case, I think Red Dead Redemption 2's story did achieve that for me. So,
okay.
Fair enough.
Corey or Will? I'm sorry, Will.
Yeah, so I kind of am the same way with Corey with how I look at this category. I look at it as in what do I get kind of outside the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, real quick, like Spyro Reignited, that's, I have it in here, but it's not a serious contender between the other two, because it just makes me look back and be like, wow, like Spyro was actually a really good game when it came out, and it just kind of reaffirms that it's an awesome game, and I wanted to give it a little bit of credit because it's a really impressive remake, in my opinion. But games like Hollow Knight and Assassin's Creed Odyssey have brought way more interest outside. Like with Hollow Knight, like the story for that game is so deep, and like I watch YouTube videos on like what's going on with the story, because there's a lot going on that you wouldn't really expect for like a Metrovania type of game. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Greek mythology is so fascinating to me, and like while you're playing this game and doing these sorts of things out here, and like you have like a vague knowledge of Greek mythology because we all learned that going through school. So like getting to hear all of this like in that time period is really cool, and on top of that, like it's making me speak a little Greek, which is kind of fun. Like at work, I the words that they say, I've been saying it at work like all day the last couple of days. So that's like little stuff outside the game that I really like. And I actually have Duolingo on my phone, and I set it to start learning a little bit more Greek because it's a really cool language, I think. So whether I stick with it is another thing. So
do people in Greece still speak Greek?
Yeah.
Is that a dumb question?
Yeah.
When you said it, I was like, am I an idiot?
Oh, they
You never
still
know.
speak Greek.
People in Latinia don't speak Latin.
Which
I mean,
has-
come on, guys.
well,
That's true, Corey.
Latin originated in the Italian peninsula.
Hattie.
Right. Huh?
Chedete. Is that Greek?
Hadite?
Maybe.
I'm
I
trying
can tell you the words
to
that
channel Age of Empires villagers.
just say Misthios.
Mystios.
Reefer asked, do people in Germany still speak German?
Look, there's got to be a country where they don't speak their language anymore.
Well, yeah, Brazil, they speak Portuguese. So there you go. Mostly.
That was
Was Brazilian ever a language, though?
No, I don't think so.
I'm thinking, like, there's got to be.
Yeah.
Like, there's those nations like Haiti that speak French.
French.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like, I don't know if Haitian was its own language, but
Might have been.
There's got to be.
I have
All right.
a friend from Cameroon. They speak
People-
French there.
People in
Do they speak
Iceland
French?
don't really speak Icelandic
They speak English.
English.
That's
Okay.
That's why it's a good travel destination. All right. Best keepsake. So for me, Celeste. I took a lot away from Celeste. It was excellent platforming, great music, great story. That's a game that'll stick with me for a very long time, I think. Frostpunk really stressed me out, and I think that's what I remember most about that game. Once the crap starts hitting the fan, it became extraordinarily stressful. And then Octopath Traveler, I just took away a lot from that. I really liked, especially Primrose's story. I'll probably remember that for a very long time, because that's the character that I started with, and I quote unquote beat the game when I beat her story. I did end up beating everybody's story, but that was good stuff too. So yeah, those are my games. What are we going with here? So me and Eric had Octopath. That was only duplicate, right?
Yeah.
Or did someone else have Celeste? No, Corey.
Mm-mm.
Corey didn't. No one else had Frostpunk. So, what do we think here?
Eric. Oh, geez. I'm almost tempted to go with Corey's again.
I was just gonna ask you that if you wanted to add Red Dead Redemption to your list.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, a lot of takeaways from that game. I mean, it's just it's such a everything about it is fantastic. You know.
Yeah.
I don't really have complaints about it. You know, it's a great time. I found myself like hunting, which was weird, and really enjoying hunting, just getting lost in the woods and hunting animals. And like, the characters were so cool. I have a nominee coming up from the game for a best moment that I remembered. I had a blast doing. Story was great. Yeah. I don't know. I think that one should win for me.
Uh-huh. I'm fine with Red Dead winning. Will?
Yeah, no, I'm fine with Red Dead. Because my secondary game I was going to side with would be Octopath, but I don't care if Red Dead does win, so I'm fine with Red Dead winning.
Okay. Red Dead?
Yep.
Red Dead it is. Best keepsake. The 2018 Thumbie goes to Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead 2. Okay. Next on the list is a best rainy day game. So this award goes to a game you choose to spend all day playing when it's raining outside. Will, nominees.
Yeah, so my nominees are Spyro Reignited Trilogy, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and Octopath Traveler.
Mm-hmm. Eric?
Best rainy day game: Red Dead Redemption 2, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and Forza Horizon 4.
Okay. Corey?
I've got AC Odyssey and Red Dead Redemption 2.
My nominees are Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu in this case, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and Octopath Traveler. So we've got a few crossovers here.
Did somebody, Dan? You had Smash. Who else had Smash? Anybody?
I think it was you
Dan?
too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Smash and what? Do we have 3 Octopath Travelers?
I think 2.
2. Me and
I
Will.
think 2. Yeah.
Yep.
Corey, what were your games? I meant to write these down and I don't have
AC
paper.
Odyssey and Red Dead 2.
Red Dead. Eric, what were yours?
Red Dead, Smash, and Forza.
Okay. So it's kind of a 3-way tie between Octopath, Red Dead, and Smash Brothers. Right?
And Odyssey.
Yeah.
Oh, Odyssey.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What's everyone feeling strongly about something?
I feel strongly about Odyssey.
I do too.
Yeah, I feel strong about Red Dead and Smash.
Okay.
This is another one though that we for all these years we've always put a personal touch on, and it's probably going to be hard to come to an agreement.
We could split it. I could go to 2 games if we don't think we're going to agree. Because I would pick Smash Brothers over Octopath Traveler, especially that's something that the family can play. So I'm gonna go with that. So do we want to have a Smash Brothers, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, or Will? What would you go strongly with?
Odyssey. Yeah.
Okay, so we could split it. AC Odyssey, Smash Brothers.
Well,
let's talk it out here.
Okay,
yeah,
that's fine.
We're why are we giving up on Red Dead, Corey? Not not strong enough for you?
So it doesn't fit my parameters for a rainy day game. And I was thinking about them earlier today, and I should have written them down. But I feel like I'm pretty consistent in that a rainy day game for me is a game that teleports you somewhere more desirable
You do always say that.
Weather-wise, right? And kind of helps take you out of a more somber mood.
Okay.
And something you can get lost in. That's another one of my.
I don't think I can be in a bad mood while I'm playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
It's just so colorful and beautiful, and
The main character core. I don't know who you picked as your assassin. Did you pick Alexios or Cassandra?
Cassandra.
So Cassandra's an amazing character too.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, she's awesome.
In my opinion, she's my favorite assassin in all of the games. So I think with all of those things, it makes playing it on a rainy day that much better. Like, it makes your day so much better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, my main criteria are, or my only criteria, I guess, are something I can spend a lot of time playing and not get bored or sick of it. And also something, you can lose yourself in, like Corey said, a little bit. So, I mean, Octopath Traveler would probably be a game I would lose myself more in. Where Smash Ultimate, I could play all day and not even think about it. So.
Yeah, for me too, I was thinking kind of along the same lines as Dan, but for me, I think Red Dead would be my first choice for this.
Okay.
Because of getting lost in it. The weather doesn't really come into play for me there.
Yeah.
But like, that's definitely a game that you want to sit down with a chunk of time to accomplish something. To see some of the story, build some of the characters, and do all this, everything that goes into that game. You need time to do, and if you got a rainy day and you have the time set aside to do it, I feel like that's like a perfect game to do that with.
Okay.
But it sounds like I'm the only one.
Yeah.
For Red Dead.
Yeah. So I guess it goes Assassin's Creed, right?
I would
If
say
Eric's
yes.
top was Red Dead, my top is Smash, and Corey and Will are both picking AC Odyssey. That's the winner then, right?
Corey, is the character you were talking about in Odyssey better than the characters in Red Dead?
No character for me. I don't think will ever be Arthur Morgan. So she's not that good, but
yeah,
she's up there as a.
I was just curious.
Protagonist.
Okay. So the winner for the 2018 Thumbie for Best Rainy Day Game goes to Assassin's Creed Odyssey. All right. Number 10, Most Pleasant Surprise. This award goes to a game that most exceeded expectations, came out of nowhere, or was otherwise unexpectedly great. Eric, we'll start with you. Nominees.
Octopath Traveler, Celeste, and COD Blops 4.
Will?
Yeah, so I've got Blops 4, Forza Horizon 4, and Dragon Ball Fighters.
Okay. Corey?
I'm sorry, you said Pleasant Surprise, right?
Yep.
I have Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and then I kind of cheated here, but I figured considering the kind of year we're having, it's okay to cheat a little bit. I put Civ 6 Rise and Fall, the expansion.
Okay. For me, I put Pokemon Let's Go, Celeste, and Into the Breach. All right. Justifications. Eric.
Well, I mean, Octopath Traveler, as I've said a number of times, not my kind of game at all. In my gaming history, I guess you could say. So I was definitely surprised at the amount of time I put into that one and how much I really enjoyed it. I remember playing it and thinking that, it could be a contender for my game of the year while I was playing it, which would be surprising if you had told me that before.
Yeah. Yep.
Celeste, I think, was surprising to me because it was a very difficult game.
Yeah.
But I never wanted to stop trying at it, which is something that has happened to me before in games. I'm just like, you know what? I don't have the time to put into this to try and get better at it, so I would just stop. But Celeste, I didn't want to put it down. I wanted to beat it, and I did. So that one would be on there. And then COD Blops 4, mostly because it's Call of Duty. And I was surprised at how much I did like that game, whether it be Blackout or just the main, chunk of multiplayer. I was a huge fan of it. I liked all the different classes that I used. Oh, man.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I didn't know my volume was on.
Had a good time playing. I played quite a bit. I played with Will, and I played with my buddy Bill quite a bit. So, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with this year's COD offering.
Okay,
Yeah.
Will.
Yeah, to piggyback off that, I almost positive we swore we weren't going to buy the new Black Ops.
You swear
every year.
Every year you swear you're not going to buy it.
It's a tradition.
Yeah.
Tradition like none other.
It's a
Just
meme
like the
at this
Masters.
point.
Every year, Dan goes, "Yeah, you're gonna get it," and every year I get mad at him. No, I'm not gonna
Right.
get it. Every year we get it, but I think that says a lot to to the most present supplies because it was pretty good and the regular multiplayer was good and the best part of it was the blackout mode. That was awesome. My next Forza Horizon 4. If you get me to care about cars, I think that's a win, and it's a surprise, and Forza Horizon does that. I am horrible with cars and will always be horrible with cars, but with this game, I become a car nerd for the however many hours that I actually play it.
I think that's a great argument. Well, the only reason I don't have that on there is because it doesn't surprise me anymore
Yeah,
after the years of playing it. But yeah, you're absolutely right. That's a great description. Making you a car nerd for the whatever amount of time you played it is great because I completely agree. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh man, I got this fucking Lamborghini.
yeah. What,
You know?
what can I do to make it
It's a
better?
Lamborghini. I know that's supposed to be a good car. I need it.
And you know what? I almost didn't put it on here for that exact same reason that you just said, Eric, because it had 3 on there, and I also had Horizon 2 on there too on my most surprise list. So probably next Forza Horizon won't make my most pleasant surprise, but
I
had to
even
give it a
bought
little.
DLC for it.
Yeah,
I bought the James Bond pack.
And once again,
Had to have the cars.
it's a car game.
Yeah.
You and I are probably the people who care the least about cars on
Oh,
here
couldn't give a shit.
by a long shot. And then my other one's Dragon Ball Fighters because there has not been a good Dragon Ball Z game in God knows how long, and this is probably the best Dragon Ball fighter or best Dragon Ball game to have come out. It's such a solid fighter. It's so much fun. It's so fan servicey that it does everything that you want, and it's an amazing fighting game. And if Smash didn't come out this year, it would be far and away my favorite fighting game to have ever come out. So,
Okay. Corey?
I don't really feel too strongly about either of mine. For me, for Odyssey, I heard it was good. I think the surprise was that it was even better than the good that I had heard. But yeah, again, I don't feel too strongly about that. Civ 6 Rise and Fall, I kind of bought on a whim because Will and I had talked about playing. I had my laptop while I was home with my parents. I thought I had Civ 6, but I guess I had just been playing yours all this time, Dan.
Oh, okay.
So I had to buy it. So I just bought the Rise and Fall expansion. There was a deal for the gold version of the game, which included the Rise and Fall expansion. So I didn't really know what I was getting into with that, but I did play one game with the expansion content enabled, and it's pretty cool. Some of the stuff they do is it's just different enough from the original game without making you relearn a bunch of things. Like I had no idea what anything was going into it, but there was very little learning curve. One of the coolest things, and I'll just talk about it briefly because I know we're trying to move through these, but one of the coolest things is what's called a free state, and that happens when your people's loyalty falls beneath a certain threshold. And when that happens, your city that rebelled basically becomes its own civ for a limited amount of time, and they'll attack you even if you were allied with the city before. So that's pretty cool, but you can fend off their attacks and take over the city and claim it as your own. But it's just cool touches like that. They do like Golden Age, Dark Age thing that changes the whole color palette of the map, which is really cool. It's just little touches like that I really enjoyed. But I don't think that expansion reviewed very well, so I'm excited to see what comes out in the new one this year.
Okay. So my games were Pokemon Let's Go, and I think for me the reason why that was surprising is I didn't have much expectation for that, and what surprised me the most was how accurate of a recreation, modernized recreation it was from Pokemon Red and Blue.
Yeah.
Even down to like the names of some of the NPCs that you fight being the same, and having some of the same dialogue. That's what impressed me about it. So that was that one. Celeste, it got rave reviews. I think you guys even talked about it on an episode before I even had a chance to play it. So I had super high expectations for it when I was going in to play it, but it still exceeded my expectations. It was an excellent game. Like Eric, I got frustrated playing it, but not frustrated enough to stop playing it. I just wanted to keep progressing, keep going, and that little shot of dopamine when you like cleared a hurdle and got to the next part was amazing. Obviously,
Just
great.
one long dopamine drip.
Oh yeah, it is exactly. It just a great game. And then Into the Breach. Into the Breach it came out of nowhere. Like all of a sudden it came out, and it was the next game from the creators of FTL. And I was just surprised with how much I liked it when I played it. So, yeah, who's feeling strong about games here?
I feel strongly that Pokemon should not.
I agree.
That was me.
I think we get rid of Pokemon, we get rid of Forza, and we get rid of Civ. And I think we get rid of Civ for the same reason we're getting rid of Forza. It's too good to be on a surprise list.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Odyssey, then. I mean,
I wouldn't say that. Assassin's Creed games have sucked.
Last couple have been good,
Last
right?
couple have been good, but it used to be every other.
Well, here's the thing. Origins was good, but the last few have not been good, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey is probably the best Assassin's Creed in the series. So I would say it's valid, to be on it.
Yeah, I would leave that.
I would leave it on there too.
All right.
I don't think the Assassin's Creed series has been good enough where like you can't still be surprised when a good one comes out.
Yeah.
Because 3 and Unity, those did come out.
You guys fucking hated 3.
I thought
Yes, I
Rogue,
did.
Syndicate, Origins, those were all good, weren't they?
Syndicate was all right. I recently found out that the Assassin's Creed fans weren't too fond of it.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah, it was good. It was all right. But Origins was really good. Probably one of the best in the series, and then Odyssey is better than Origins. Which, I mean, it's debatable between Odyssey and Origins, which one people like more, but...
Yeah, and another thing that Assassin's Creed did in that is they added dialogue options. They added some more RPG elements. The combat system changed.
Yeah.
Whenever you're throwing those new elements into a game like that, a lot of times they fall flat, but they didn't in this case. So...
And I will say, like, if you don't really like the Assassin's Creed series, Odyssey is probably a game you'll still like.
Yeah.
Because it's really, honestly, radically different from the older games. It's an open world RPG now, as opposed to being a more of a linear third-person stealth game.
Yeah.
So.
Point. Sounds like you guys have some strong arguments for AC Odyssey.
Well, I feel strongly it should be on the list that we're narrowing down.
I don't know if I would pick it, but I think it's.
What are the other duplicates?
Well, I think Celeste would have to be in there.
Right.
And Blops was.
Was I the only one that had Octopath? I mean, you guys probably weren't surprised that you liked that, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't have it on my list.
Okay. Did you have Blops, Will?
I did.
Hmm.
I don't want to give an award to Call of Duty.
Why? It was good.
If it deserves the award, it should
Give
get
it
the
its
award.
due. If it's. Yeah, I mean, I guess my biggest argument for that would be, in the past I have liked Call of Duty multiplayer. So that, I guess, isn't a huge surprise. To me, I think it was how well Blackout played. Considering how shitty PUBG is. I feel like Blackout is a much better PUBG. To put it, I guess, simple terms. Yeah, I think that was the biggest surprise to me is how good Blackout was. Because, there's a lot of room for error there. It could have been janky and messy, but it really wasn't. Plays well. It was pretty well reviewed. I think for the most part, people really liked it. And that Battle Royale mode is a difficult one to get into right now. I think you're taking a chance if you get into that because, like, Fortnite is so good and so popular, you could just fail miserably, and they didn't. And I think that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a pretty good argument for it. Well, and the other Black Ops.
Yeah, I'm not a Black Ops fan. I'm not big on the Black Ops series, I guess you could say.
Yeah. And what was the other duplicate? Celeste?
Celeste, yep.
Celeste, yeah.
Me and Eric had that on our lists.
Yeah, and I guess again for me with Celeste, on top of what I said earlier about not wanting to ever quit it and just wanting to beat it, um, that one came out of nowhere
Yeah.
for me.
It just
I
came
had read
out
some-
and was
yeah,
getting
it came
perfect
out
scores.
getting perfect scores. And I was like, shit. I think I texted you guys. I was
Yeah.
like, you guys even know about this game? And we kind of really didn't.
Yeah.
And we were playing it basically at the same time, and we were all loving it
Yeah.
and talking about how great it was. I honestly, my strongest opinion would be Celeste.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just such a good game. Like
It's-
Corey
yeah,
said, it's just
fabulous.
a perfect. Or who was it that had it as best package?
Corey.
Me.
Yeah, I think. Well, I don't think it should win that one. I do think it's a good argument. It's just such a great package for a game that came out of absolutely nowhere and was getting perfect scores from a lot of people.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
And that's another one. While I was playing it, I was thinking, now this is a Game of the Year contender
Yeah.
to come out of nowhere.
It was a Game of the Year contender because it was on the Game Awards Game of the Year against AAAs, like
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
big
so
AAA
well
games.
made.
Yeah.
I think that's my pick.
Yeah, I would side with Celeste.
I'm picking Celeste. Corey? Celeste?
Works for me.
All right, Celeste it is. So most
Yeah.
pleasant surprise goes to Celeste. Okay, next category. Steamy pile of disappointment and or turd. This award goes to a game that failed to meet expectations or was just plain bad. I will start. I had Mario Tennis Aces. It was a disappointment. Corey, I wanted to talk about what you talked about earlier with a Nintendo game that there's a lot of potential there. The tennis was fine, but I feel like they could have fleshed out some of the other stuff a little bit more. So it was a bit of a disappointment for me.
Hmm.
But that's all I have. So, Will, what do you have?
So I actually had Mario Tennis, Dan, but I actually subbed it out for We Happy Few
Mm-hmm.
because that game really pooped the bed in the end because that game had so much expectations going into it and
Yeah.
really disappointed in the end. Next, I have myself for not playing more God of War, and then Fallout 76.
Okay. Eric? I think we know what you're going to put.
Well, I'm adding Mario Tennis to mine too, Dan.
Okay.
Sea of Thieves is on my list.
Okay.
I wouldn't call it a turd,
Right.
but I feel as though disappointment is accurate.
Yep.
I enjoyed it for an hour, and then I was like, all right, well, I guess this is it.
Yeah. That's all there is to it.
We went through a couple islands. There wasn't really much going on, and I felt like there probably wasn't going to be much going on. And unloading water off your boat was only fun for so long.
Uh-huh.
And I felt like in a game like that, you should have been seeing videos popping up on your feeds online saying, oh, look at this cool thing that happened. The only thing I really ever saw was when people saw the Kraken or the shark.
Okay.
That was it.
Yeah.
And if your game is like an open world game where you need to make your fun and discover things, there needs to be more than that.
Yeah. Good point.
Fallout 76 is terrible. Like I said, I did the 3-day rental from Redbox. I took it back the next day. I played it for 30 minutes. It was terrible. I couldn't find anything redeeming about it.
Okay.
And Mario Tennis Aces, that's like you said. I think Dan, that's a good point you made in comparison with the Mario Party argument.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like it's just not.
There
Didn't take
should
that
be
next
more
step
there.
that it's not a $60 package.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's highway robbery for that game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really happy I didn't end up buying it. I played the beta or whatever they put out for it, and I said, you know what, it is not a $60 game.
Yeah. I expected to get more use out of it too, playing with the kids, but they only were interested in it for like a week, and then we went back to playing like Mario Kart and now
Yeah,
Smash.
it's
but...
not interesting.
Yeah,
at all.
exactly. Yeah.
All right.
Corey, what do you got?
I didn't really have anything that I played this year that I didn't like, except for episode 1 of Life is Strange 2, but I don't think that's eligible.
No, not until it's complete, probably.
Okay.
That's usually how we do it.
So then I got to nothing.
Nothing.
Just put Fallout 76.
That's
did.
definitely
I didn't
the
play it.
turd
Yeah, neither did I.
of the crew.
we'll put it on there.
So I mean, I guess it's between Fallout 76 and Mario Tennis Aces. What are we going with here?
At least Mario Tennis is playable.
That's true.
I
This
can't
is-
even sit down and force myself to play Fallout.
So it's funny. Me and Dan both talked about how we didn't think we should have a turd and disappointment, but this is a good example of how there should have been a disappointment and a turd category.
Yeah.
Because one is very
Yeah.
disappointing.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the year.
One's bad.
Yeah.
It does depend on
Yeah, I
there.
think Fallout wins this one.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
And you could go to the not necessary argument too. They're just dumb
Yep.
all around.
Yeah. All right. So the winner of the Steamy Pile of Disappointment and or Turd Award for the 2018 Thumbies is Fallout 76. Okay. Next on the list, popular game we're least likely to play. This obviously is a self-explanatory award. Eric, we'll start with you.
All right. Sea of Thieves.
Mm-hmm.
I did play a little bit, but I always take into consideration, like, will I play it again?
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2,
Uh-huh.
and Fallout 76.
Okay.
I've kind of already gone through why for two of those. State of Decay 2, really the only reason is because I did not like the first one at all.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm not interested in trying the second one.
Will?
I've got Gone Home Switch Edition, and then Shadow of the Tomb Raider and Fallout 76.
Okay. Corey?
I have Fallout 76, and this one I'm not going to make any friends saying, but is Spider-Man. I like to pick a game that I know is popular and people like and is a good game that I just know I won't play.
Yeah.
Even though I know a lot of people really like it and probably wish I would. But action-adventure games, comic books, Two Strikes,
Yeah.
I just don't think I'd enjoy it.
Okay. I'll piggyback off of that, Corey. I have God of War and Spider-Man. It's mostly because I don't have a system to play those on. But I'm definitely less likely to play Spider-Man for the very same reasons. I have the superhero fatigue like you would not believe. I don't even want to see superheroes on my TV ever. I'm just sick of it. Yeah, it's not a game I'm likely to play. I would play God of War if given the opportunity, no question. But yeah, I wouldn't play Spider-Man, I don't think. So
That's it.
that's
On your
it.
list?
Yeah, just those two games.
All right, three of us have Fallout.
3 have Fallout.
I think that should win over Spider-Man because at least Spider-Man is a critically acclaimed game.
Yeah.
You know.
But that
Is it popular?
right, that's the word.
But it's a good game.
Right, and that for me, that's the spirit of the award, the good, popular game that we're not going to play. And I don't know, how popular is Fallout 76?
I mean, it's Fallout. It's had to do at least decent.
I don't know. That's a good question. I know all of my friends who were defending it that first month have all asked for refunds from Bethesda.
Yeah.
So
Can you
from
do
for
that?
varying. No,
I mean-
to find out.
Yeah, there's no argument that Fallout is a bad game. I just look at it as
I would
like,
just hate to see Spider-Man because I really wanted to play that one, and I love the developer on that one too.
Well,
I'm good with either.
you could look at it this way. How likely are you to play it at this point?
I'm more likely to pick up a PS4 and play that than I am to spend $1 on Winter Fallout.
I
How's
gotcha.
that?
I gotcha. Okay. What about you, Will? What kind
Well,
you don't have a PS4. Are you going to get a PS4?
if the PS5 wasn't 2 years from coming out, I would probably be more likely to get another one. But I'd rather just kind of save my money right now and
Okay.
get a PS5 when it launches.
So can I convince you to side with the Spider-Man argument? Because what chance are you going to have to play Spider-Man?
I don't like a game being on the list just because you don't have the console though.
Well, that's that.
I
I
don't
mean,
like that
that's
argument.
usually why I have to put a game on there.
Yeah, no, I get it, but I don't like that argument. Like I feel like I don't know.
The real popular game where I'm least likely to probably play is Red Dead Redemption 2.
Play more.
If I'm being honest.
Okay.
that's
But-
drasty.
But there is that
Last-
one slight chance that I do want to pick it back up and play it. Fallout 76, I'm really just not going to even entertain the idea of getting it at any point. So like that's why that's my winner. We can't get behind Gone Home Nintendo Switch Edition and call it good.
Sure.
But what if Fallout 76 becomes good? It's possible.
No.
So here's my argument to that. I don't think the 2018 awards should be based on Fallout 76
What
could
it
be
could
good.
be. No.
Well, this award is literally saying what we're gonna do in the future.
But now we're arguing how long is it
Yeah,
going
I
to take
still
for it
don't
to
like
be
it.
good.
That's like saying, oh, you need to watch 3 episodes of this show before it gets good. I'm like, well, I don't have fucking 3 hours worth of time
Well,
to do that.
I mean, if the award says, you know, best 3 show episode or best 3 episodes of a show, then yes. But
I'm not
in this
buying
case,
that
it's
argument at
saying
all
least
for it.
likely to
It's
play.
nonsense.
So, that's an interesting argument. I don't know.
I'm not buying that.
I probably won't be swayed to the Spider-Man camp because
You're a
it's
sad sack.
it's not
I get what you're saying as far as like it being a popular game. I understand that, but I don't like Dan's piece about just not having the console. I don't think that should come into play here.
Nor will I get one to play it.
No, and that's fine, but I know it's not like, you know, we're not arguing is it a system seller. That's
Yeah.
not the question.
Yeah, but like I mean, Will's let me borrow his PlayStation in the past, and I would have borrowed it to play God of War, but I would not have borrowed it to play Spider-Man. No chance in hell.
I look at it like with me, I would not have Spider-Man in my top 10 of popular games I'm least likely to play.
Yeah.
I would, as I said, even the games like I have Shadow of the Tomb Raider on here, I'm more likely to ever play that than I am Fallout 76.
Yeah. Okay.
For me, and this is the last thing I'll say on the matter, like, if I saw Spider-Man on there as popular game we're least likely to play, I'd be like, oh yeah, that is a popular game. I'm surprised they're not going to play it. Whereas if I saw Fallout 76, I'd be like, well, yeah, no shit, they're not going to play it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I guess,
But I hate you. But we can pick Spider-Man.
the 4 of us aren't superhero fans either, really.
No, I'm not at all. I'm more want to play that because of who made it. I
Yeah.
love their games.
That was like when I played Batman. Like I knew nothing about the Batman or any of that, but I love the Arkham games. I really liked. So
And you are right though, Eric. I really hate to give Insomniac a negative award.
it's not negative. I don't think.
I think it's scathing.
I think it's a little bit negative.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Yeah. All right. So are we going Spider-Man?
Yeah, we are. It's always
Sorry, guys.
There's always at least one category where you guys totally fuck up, and here it is.
This
Oh,
is
come
early.
on, this isn't that bad.
No, I know. I'm just kidding.
Okay. So yeah.
Until we get to the most valuable console.
Second
I think
place.
that's unanimous.
No, we're gonna fight over second. One of the runner-ups.
All right. So
I think we're gonna have to if we're getting an argument on that one.
okay. So popular game we're least likely to play 2018 Thumby goes to Spider-Man. All right. Next on the list, we demand more for best new IP. This award goes out to new intellectual property that we would like to see more of. Eric, go ahead.
Only one I had was Celeste.
Will.
Octopath. That's the only one I got.
Octopath. I had Octopath Traveler
I would have that.
and Frostpunk. Corey.
I also had Octopath and I had Celeste.
So we're going with Octopath here since that was on everybody's list.
Good with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was easy. So we demand more award for best new IP goes to Octopath Traveler. Okay. That saves some time. All right. Next on the list is most valuable console. So for console war purposes, this award goes out to the best console. Will.
I have Switch. I only put the Switch, and I'm not even gonna think about the other two.
Okay. Eric.
I have Switch.
Uh-huh.
That would be my favorite.
Uh-huh.
But I did put Xbox One X on there.
Okay.
The reason I put that on there is I feel like there's a lot of value there between Game Pass and EA Access and that kind of stuff that it has to offer. Game Pass is pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
It really is, and it's cheap.
Yep.
And the ability to be able to split the cost of that with somebody else is like, I mean, that's almost a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my first pick would be Switch.
Okay. My first pick is also Switch. Also followed by Xbox, Eric. I'm in total agreement with you. Both the Game Pass and EA Access are great services to have. Like, I just got my Xbox. I got a 3-month free trial of Game Pass. I'm probably going to keep it going because there's a lot of good games on there. All the first-party exclusives are launch day available on that, so I don't have to buy them. Like, Crackdown is a perfect example. Like, I don't have to buy that. I'll just play it on Games Pass. If I don't end up liking it, I didn't waste $60, so I'll more likely to play a game like that.
I do struggle a bit with myself not putting PS4 on the list because I personally still think it's a better console than the Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
It's got way better exclusives than
Oh,
the
yeah.
Xbox does.
Not even close, really.
Not even comparison. I don't know. I guess it's kind of a toss-up, but it's in terms of value,
Yeah.
I would say Xbox, but the better single-player games are on PS4. It's a tough call there.
Yeah.
That's why I say fuck it and you get a Switch.
That's right.
Yep.
Corey, go ahead.
Yeah, definitely Switch. Number one, the bevy of games and the convenience and everything. I also had Xbox One X as my clear number two, for all the reasons Eric said, but I'll throw in the power horse that it is. I talk a lot about my first experience playing native 4K gaming on a 4K TV, all made possible with the Xbox One X and Red Dead Redemption 2, and I was blown away.
Yeah.
I'll literally never forget the moment I first turned on Red Dead Redemption 2 with the whole Xbox One X experience, and it's awesome.
I know the PS4 Pro can't do native 4K. It's close, but it's not quite.
Right.
Because I watched a very, very in-depth Digital Foundry video on all the breakdowns and stuff on Red Dead Redemption specifically. All right, so the most valuable console goes to Nintendo Switch. All right. Next,
I really wish that wasn't my favorite, so we could have an argument about it.
Well, I mean, just being able to play it, like, it's like
I don't think we gave it enough due here.
No, we didn't.
Let's
talk about it. Now's the time.
Category, yeah. Oh man, I mean, just talking about like when I took my trip up to New York. You know how much better my experience was at the airport because I had a Nintendo Switch with me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was able to look through and see, oh shit, FIFA 19 is on sale. I had it on Switch last year and I loved playing it handheld on the Switch. I'm gonna buy it here in the airport, download it, and I'll be able to play it like on my way back to Virginia. Like,
yeah,
it's just so convenient and like, oh man, it's so good. The games are great. Yeah. So
yeah, being able to play it for me is a big thing. I take it every day when I go to pick up my kids from school while I'm waiting to go into the school, and I play for 15 or 20 minutes here and there. A couple weeks ago, I took I had to take all my kids to my daughter's piano lesson. We just sat in the car, and I had my son come up and sit in the front seat with me, and we played Smash Brothers. In my car. I even brought my wired controller. I gave my son one of the Joy-Cons, and we played Smash Brothers while we were waiting. Like, you just can't do that with other things. Even mobile consoles like the 3DS, you can't really do stuff like that. Play on the same screen. So, also, I want to give a shout out to the Nintendo UI. I know people complain about it being too simple, but it's perfect. I just got an Xbox One, which I talked about. I don't think I had a chance to talk about it, but the UI is a mess.
Ugh.
It is a mess, and I can't believe how much better the Switch UI is for being clean and simple and easy. It's so much better. So.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so simple. There's not a lot to it, which is it's the best way to do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The less, the better.
Yeah. Totally. Like I still can't find stuff on the Xbox One system.
Xbox UI is
it's
a nightmare.
terrible. I know PlayStation's better.
I just feel like it's always yelling at me, whereas the Nintendo, you're just kind of you go where you need to go and you press your things and then you get what you want.
Yeah,
it's responsive. Like, something feels janky about the Xbox One, even with the One X and the more power and whatever.
Yeah,
like, man, just going to the store to the home screen. It should be quick and snappy, and it shouldn't feel like a fucking chore.
Yeah.
Corey, do you remember when you were here for Christmas and I was trying to show you something on my Xbox and I had to mash the A button like 6 or 7 times before it actually responded?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's brutal.
So that's
It is brutal.
It's pretty bad.
And like when you go into say you're in the store, right, and you click on a game, you want to check out the price or whatever, and it automatically starts playing a video. Like if I'm not expecting that and I have my volume at 20 and the baby is sleeping, I want to fucking throw it out the window. You know? It's like, don't play a fucking video unless I want it to be played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who thought that was a good idea?
Don't know. But yeah, it's a hot mess.
I do like my Xbox, but
Yeah.
that stuff's terrible.
Yeah, totally. It took me a while to figure out, and game sizes are ridiculous. Like installing a game, like, because my son got a few games for Christmas. It took like 2 hours to install Spyro. Like, come on, man. I had the disc and everything.
Kid itching to play.
Oh
a
my
new
God.
Game, think back to that. Can you imagine?
No, I would have.
Say you got Red Dead for Christmas. And you had to install 50 gigs or whatever it was.
Took 12 hours.
Imagine. You couldn't play it till the next day.
It's terrible.
Torture.
Yeah.
You'd almost rather not get it.
Yeah. And all the first party Nintendo Switch games are 8-10 gigabytes. They download in 10-15 minutes.
Done.
But anyway, enough of that. Next on the list, Eargasm Award. This award goes to a game whose music and or audio effects blew our minds. Will.
Ooh, all right. So I've got Forza Horizon 4, Smash Ultimate, and Octopath Traveler.
Mm-hmm. Eric?
And I feel strongly about all of them.
Okay.
I abstained here, Dan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nothing really came to mind. And when I started thinking about this, like while we've been talking about games, I feel like at the time I was playing Celeste, I remember myself talking about the sound on it, like the music. I could be wrong, but I feel like I kind of remember that, but I wasn't sure, so I abstained.
Okay. I got you covered, Eric, because I have Celeste on my list. I have Spyro Reignited, and I have Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So, Corey, go ahead.
I had 2, Red Dead Redemption 2. Some of the music is perfect for the game, and the sound effects too, all really good. It's immersive, which is what it should be for a game like that. Even little things like walking through the snow, and just everything up and down. I also threw Ni no Kuni 2 in there solely for the music. I think it does a really good job of setting that whimsical fantasy environment, and a lot of it's really catchy and very memorable. I imagine if I heard any of the songs from that game, I could tell you where it came from.
Okay. Will, justifications.
So starting with Forza, the sound on that game is incredible. Like I said, I go back to I don't know anything about cars, but just the sound of the cars as you're racing, or when you're doing like those like off-road vehicles and you're going through the woods and you hear like the trees falling down and stuff like that. It's just like stuff like that just sounds so good. On top of it having a lot of options for you to play music while you're actually racing. They have a lot of different stations, they call them, for whatever you want to listen to. I think that's really cool, but I do have that third. Smash Ultimate is my number 2. That game has, I forgot the exact amount of hours of music, but it has so many tracks from all of the different games that we've known and love. And the sound effects that the characters have when they're punching each other, throwing items, the Pokeballs, all that is really, really well done. And at 1, I have Octopath Traveler because the soundtrack for that game is incredible. So,
okay. So I have Celeste. Eric, like you said, the music in that game is really, really good. Haunting, kinda, but also a little bit upbeat, and it keeps you motivated in the game. But also when Madeline is having her conversations with who's the hipster guy that she interacts with. I can't remember what his name is.
Cliff or something like
Aiden?
that.
It's something like that. But when she's talking, the kind of mumble noise that she makes is really really pleasant.
See, I didn't care for that.
Okay. I know you never liked that in the Sims.
I fucking hate it.
What
I
other
hate that.
what other game was it that had that you
Brothers?
hated? Brothers, yes, thank you. That's
Why?
what
Why are we doing it?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
Also, what's that? That Miitomo game?
Mitomo.
Oh, the game
They
that
do
you
it
and
there.
Eric loved.
What
Game's
a
awesome.
great day that was.
Yeah,
day.
that was one of the best days of gaming.
Did,
Right up
didn't
there
we,
with. Go ahead.
Didn't somebody tweeted something like that like fairly recently, or I saw something on social media like the best 24 hours I ever had with a game, and it was that one.
Yep.
So I had Celeste. I had Spyro Reignited at number 2. Both. I mean, the music brings me right back to playing that when I was a teenager. But also, I was playing it last night, and my wife was watching, and she commented, and I had thought this literally a few minutes before, but the sounds, like when you free a dragon and when you spit fire, they're very pleasing and relaxing, and I'm not sure what it is, but it's definitely noticeable.
I'm actually gonna add that to my list too, because you're right. How far are you, by the way, Dan?
I'm maybe halfway through the first one. I haven't played it as much. It's harder to play
Gotta
that than
add
it
that.
is the Switch. So I played a lot more Pokemon of the new games that we got for Christmas. And then my last game is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Obviously, the music is great. The sound effects are great. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but it has a music mode where you can plug a pair of headphones in and turn it off and listen to it like a music player.
Huh.
Yeah. The songs are great. Like, I heard a song. I wish I could find it or remember what it was. It was when my wife was playing The World of Light, and it sounded like a Blink-182 song. I don't know who it was by or what level it's from or what,
Huh.
but it was awesome. And that was just one of the many awesome songs in the game. So, and that's not including the remastered soundtracks that we all the Mario songs, the Legend of Zelda songs that you just know.
Yeah.
So those are my games. What are we thinking here?
Well, if I may chime in as
Chime
a
in.
bystander in this one,
Mm-hmm.
kind of a bystander, but after listening to everybody, I think I would stand up for Red Dead.
Uh-huh.
I would also stand up for Smash.
Yeah.
Those would be my two that I think I would.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would have Red Dead on my list if I had played it, because
When Corey was talking about it, like I remember thinking the same thing. The music just sets the tone so well, like continually through the game. And then he was talking about like even like the small things, like walking through leaves or snow, whatever the case may be, and like especially when you're hunting, you really notice that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, if I would say Red Dead would be my pick.
Okay. Will, what are you thinking?
Probably Smash Brothers, but we did say that the innocent bystander, which is Eric for this one, does pick.
Yeah.
So I will honor that by saying Red Dead.
I'm fine with Red Dead.
I don't
Wow.
think that should be a deciding factor. I just think thinking back on these games,
Yeah.
I played pretty much all those games you guys are talking about, and thinking back when I was listening to you guys, that one, I guess to me also like that's a new game where they did all of that, whereas like with Smash Brothers they took music from a lot of old games, which is cool and awesome and all that kind of stuff, but
Yeah.
like, Red Dead immersed you in that world that they have, largely because of the sounds and the music that they put in the game, which I think is a lot to be said for.
And there's like at least half a dozen sequences that are specifically set to a vocal track, and it's just awesome.
Okay. I'm
All right,
fine with
yeah.
Red Dead.
Going Red Dead.
Red Dead 2. So the winner for the 2018 Thumbie for Eargasm Award is Red Dead Redemption 2.
Cool.
Whoops.
Every time this category comes up, all I can think of is how much I liked the sounds in, as shitty as the game was, Battlefront.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
The blasters.
Absolutely.
Every time I read that, I'm like, oh yeah, Battlefront. How good were the sounds in that?
All right. Next on the list, Best Indie Game. So this award goes out to the best game that was developed outside the AAA game industry. I guess I'll start. So I had Celeste as number 1, Into the Breach is number 2, and Frostpunk is number 3. Corey, what do you got?
I had Celeste as number 1, Into the Breach as number 2.
Okay. Eric.
Celeste.
Celeste. Okay. Will.
'Cause Octopath is not indie, right?
Nope, that's Squeenix.
Yeah, then just Celeste.
Okay. Will.
Yeah, I've got Dead Cells, Into the Breach, and Hollow Knight. I feel very strongly about Hollow Knight, but Celeste is going to win this one.
Outvoted, yeah.
Yeah.
Celeste it
Yeah.
is.
This is
So
probably,
Go ahead.
just quickly, this is probably the only one that I would fight for until like you guys disallowed me from the podcast. But
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought Hollow Knight, and granted, I didn't play too awful much of that, but it really didn't grab me. I would like to go back and play it again though, because I feel like it was just a timing thing.
Uh-huh.
'Cause everybody loves it.
It's a tough start. I admit that, because you don't have
Starts
any.
slow.
I wouldn't say it starts slow. It's just extra harder because you don't have any skills or anything like that. So you're kind of, if you don't get the combat down a little bit, you're gonna probably struggle a good bit at the beginning.
Yeah, I don't remember it being the difficulty. I couldn't get into it, but I think it was more setting and where I played it and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And like I said, I would fight to the death with this one, but I know there's 3 people who are gonna fight to the death for Celeste.
Yeah,
So,
I feel pretty strongly about that one.
so
It's
yeah,
not even close for me, really. It's Celeste #1.
This will be where I don't plant my flag.
No, you have to play Celeste, Will, is what you have to do.
I think it's free on Xbox this month.
I think you're right. I think it's part of the games with gold.
Eric's gonna have to download it because I can't download anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I don't have Live technically. We share it, but I don't own it. You do.
I didn't
so
know
you have
that.
you have to download it.
Oh, yeah. Let me know if you ever need me to download something.
Oh yeah, because I do really want to play Celeste.
Yeah, I'll download it.
So the winner of the 2018 Thumbie for Best Indie Game is Celeste. Next on the list is award number 19. I don't know, we're out of order, so I'm not going to count them. But Best Ambassador Game. So this award is open to interpretation. So, Will, we'll start with you. Best Ambassador Game.
So I've got Dragon Ball Fighters,
Uh-huh.
Smash Brothers Ultimate, and Celeste.
Okay. Eric?
I have God of War and Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay. Corey?
I have Red Dead Redemption 2 and The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. So I have Fortnite, Fork Knife,
Fortnite.
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, and Red Dead Redemption 2. So I'll give my justification. For this one, a lot of it is like a snapshot of gaming in this particular year. And if you were to explain gaming and what's going on in gaming in this particular year, you can't not have Fortnite and Red Dead Redemption 2 on your list. I did not play Red Dead Redemption 2. I only played a little bit of Fortnite. But gaming in 2018 was Red Dead Redemption 2 and Fortnite. I put Smash Brothers Ultimate because it's another thing about Fortnite too is when I go to parent pickup, when I pick up my kids, I hear parents all the time talking about Fortnite and playing it with their kids. And what better ambassador game can you have than that, you know? Smash Brothers Ultimate, you know, it's I feel like you could have fun even if you stink at it, you know.
Everybody knows the
I don't, and that's
characters.
why I didn't pick it.
Well, the thing I do with the kids is not do stock. First of all, when you're playing with someone that's bad, is not do stock. Do timed battle. And even if they end up dying
That's
a lot,
why I
like
like timed better.
they still play the entire time. So they're not 3 and out real quick. You know, it gives them more time to like learn the moves and stuff. Like I said, Red Dead Redemption 2. Even though I didn't play it, it's the game of 2018. So, Corey, go ahead.
I
What do
think
you got?
make a good argument for Fortnite there.
Yeah, like I said, we've talked about before. It's transcended just being in gaming culture. It's in pop culture. So
Yeah, like with a bunch of females that I work with, like who don't game, know nothing about it, even they're very aware of Fortnite. So
I want to hear Corey's definition of ambassador game.
Yeah, because Fortnite really doesn't do it for me as an ambassador game. I get the popularity of it, but that on its own isn't enough for me to say, okay,
Well-
this is the game we're putting in front of a bunch of people this isn't the game we're going to show the aliens, you know?
yeah. Well, as I said, really for me, it was like I said, parents at home who have kids that play Fortnite, who don't play video games at all, play Fortnite with their kids.
And that's fine. Again, I'm not arguing the popularity of the game. For me, ambassador game doesn't just solely like, is it popular? Do people know about it? Is it culturally relevant. To me, it's more about putting the best foot forward for the gaming industry. Like, this is our
gotcha.
crowning achievement. This game is really good. I actually have an anecdote to tell about Red Dead 2. We had company over one of the holidays, and he said he really wanted to see Red Dead 2, and he's not a gamer at all. I was like, oh, yeah, I was really selling it to him. Like, you got to see it. It's so immersive. Like, it feels so real. It's just like, your favorite Westerns you've ever seen. And then I booted it up and I did a mission, and it just happened to be one of the more gratuitously violent sequences in the game, where like somebody was mowing people down with a Gatling gun and there was just blood splattering all over the place. And I was actually kind of embarrassed that that was the scene that this person saw, because there is so much like beauty in that game, and that was just a really bad example of that. So for me, is Red Dead Redemption 2 a perfect ambassador game? No, but I do think it is like gaming's crowning achievement for the year. And it is, I mean, it is bigger than just a video game. There's a really powerful story at the core of Red Dead Redemption 2, and for me, that's why it's my best ambassador game.
So, kind of piggybacking off of you said your boss asked to see it?
No, we had company over the holidays.
So actually, our dad, yesterday I was taking him to his appointment, and I was talking with the Thumbies, and he said, have you played that Red Dead Redemption game? And I said, I played a little bit of it, and he said he was even curious about it because he said it looked amazing.
Yeah.
So, and our dad does not like video games.
No, he does not.
So, that kind of is a testament to what Corey is saying.
I suggested to him that he pick up video games, and he had no interest.
I actually did it again, and he said, what would you think I'd play? And I said, well, we'd probably start you off with like some mobile games to start, so you get a little bit used to it. And he didn't say no. So maybe we could get him.
All right.
Start playing things.
I mean, I'm okay if you guys all feel strongly about Fortnite. I'm fine with it.
Oh, no. I'm completely on your side.
Oh, okay.
My take on ambassador game is what you're saying, Corey. Well, I hear what Dan's saying. I don't think Fortnite either is the game that you'd put in front of somebody to say this is what gaming can be. I think Red Dead is far and away the superior game, regardless of Fortnite's popularity and all that kind of thing. That's not if somebody said to me, all right, Eric, sit me down. What game is going to impress me enough to where, I want to play it, or I might look more into video games. It's not going to be Fortnite for me. Because I'm going to die within 30 seconds. But yeah, Red Dead is it's like a movie, but you're playing it and it's still a game. Because there's those games where it's like a movie that you're playing, but you're not really playing. It's boring. That's not Red Dead. Like you're playing it. And like you're into it,
Yep.
And it's just so good, and like they could get into the characters, and for me that's the winner.
And it hadn't occurred to me until you said that though, Eric. But like when there's action, you're playing it, whereas in those other games that are like movies, if there's action, it's a cinematic scene that you're just watching,
or at the most a QuickTime event.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're in a gunfight with your revolver. Like you're in the thick of it.
Will, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, my number one would probably be Smash Brothers. I picked Celeste because I thought maybe you guys would pick Celeste, so that was my shot in the dark for what game you guys would pick, and I was totally off.
I didn't pick that because of the difficulty curve.
Yeah, I was gonna say frustratingly difficult at times.
Okay, I guess I sided for Red Dead. Because usually ambassador game, contrary to my picks this year, is usually what game you get the most meaning out of. And it sounds like Red Dead Redemption 2 has a lot of meaning in the story, and that's something that I always like to pick and put forth as an ambassador game. So I guess I would side with Red Dead.
Yeah.
But Dan, I will say,
I didn't pick Fortnite as my top one. I just wanted to explain my justification.
What was your top one?
I didn't really have a top one. I would probably be Smash Brothers. Would be my top one if I had to say. But I mean, I've got Red Dead on my list. It would be up there. No, Fortnite was not my top. I just said, like I said, I thought it was weird how many parents I know that are not into video games that play Fortnite with their kids.
Yeah, it's fun because people come in and out of our office all the time, and they're talking about their kids. And whenever video games come up, Fortnite is discussed.
Yeah.
Look how much money they're making off of that.
They just released how much they made last month. It was something crazy.
Isn't it billions?
Good God.
4 billion or something.
Yep.
That's disgusting.
None of those people
Off
have to
of
worry
fucking
again.
costumes and dances.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's probably like 100 times more than Red Dead's gonna make.
Oh yeah. So are we going with Red Dead?
I am, but I mean,
I vote
I'm.
Yay.
I mean, it's on 3 lists, right? You didn't have it on, or you did. You had it on yours, right? Will?
No, I'd had Dragon Ball, Smash, and Celeste.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I think Red Dead's probably our best bet, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Red Dead it is. So the winner for the 2019 Thumbie for Best Ambassador Game is Red Dead Redemption 2. Redemption. Oh, I've been putting RDR2, so I don't have to type it all out. All right, next on the list is Best Moment. This award goes to a game that had an amazing moment or several. Eric, I'll start with you.
I have 2 moments. One was in a game, one was not.
Mm-hmm.
My first moment was the mission in Red Dead, which was fairly early, and I don't know any characters' names anymore because I haven't played it in a bit, but the one where you break your, I guess you could call him gang member, out of jail.
Uh-huh.
That was fucking awesome. Because I'm an idiot, and I didn't kind of explore all the ways that you could do that. And I didn't have dynamite to blow through the wall, so I just went in and started shooting in the jail.
Guns blazing.
Yeah, it turned into a revolver fight with the entire town, which was awesome.
Nice.
It was so great.
It's one of those cool unscripted moments, you know?
Yeah, oh my god, it was so good. My second moment is when in our chat, Will made fun of me for not being able to navigate a children's game, that being Pokemon Let's Go, when I was frustrated because I didn't know where to go next.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that.
He called me a putz and said, Eric, it's a children's game. And I thought that was so funny, and I tried to tell my wife about it, and she didn't understand why it was so funny. And I was like, I was dying. I was like, oh my god, he's right. I'm such an idiot.
Pokemon, which is already for kids, but the kid version is where Eric's struggling. Are you on the right path now?
Yeah, I think my frustration came from me not really liking the game all that much and being kind of bored, so I was pissed off that I didn't know where to go next because I just kind of wanted to. I was hoping I'd get to the next area and be like, all right, yeah, this is cool. And I was frustrated because I wasn't there, but yeah.
Are you coming around on it a little bit more?
Not really. Boring.
Dang it. Yeah, it's a tough one for
I should probably trade it in now so it has like some worth.
So yeah, you get the most value for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Do you have any other moments, Eric?
No, just those 2.
Okay. Will?
So I've got 4 moments. We talk about Pokemon Let's Go. I kind of playing this game, Dan. You know how you talked about how the remake, how it was just like an impressive remake of what the Switch can do with Pokemon now, on top of it being the first game being redone.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I have in it because it just brings back all of the nostalgia for me.
Mm-hmm.
That I had for Pokemon, and this is like I think it's an impressive remake, and it's kind of showing off what the next Pokemon game is going to look and play like, and I'm pretty impressed with it. And on that same one, I have Spyro Reignited for that same reason. Like, I loved this game so much that I played through all 3 games twice, and all the memories that I had of playing this game kind of just rush back to me, and it's just so much fun to play it. My next one is all of Hollow Knight that I've played so far. I freaking love that game, and I think it's an amazing game, and the stuff that it does and the story that it tells is really, really impressively done. And I'm actually bummed I didn't play it last year to give it any awards for last year, because I think it might be up there for one of my favorite indie games ever. And my last one, and my number 1, is Smash Weekend.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I guess that should probably be on mine too. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and like that's not an actual. I mean, it was revolved around Smash Brothers, but it wasn't like a game. But that was one of my favorite gaming moments of the year.
Yeah.
Was literally doing nothing but playing video games for 3 days.
Yeah. What do you got, Corey?
So I could have pulled out dozens of Red Dead Redemption 2 moments. I only pulled out one, and that is the Mad Scientist quest line, which I won't really spoil, but it's pretty trippy because it only shows up at night when it's storming, and you have to find this dude who's working on this project, and you got to help him out with some things. And that gets a little wonky, but I really loved that. But all those Red Dead 2 moments can't really compare with one moment from our favorite indie game of the year, Celeste, and that's the white block moment. For me, I don't. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's the moment where you find the secret, and then in the secret area, there's the white block from Mario 3. Anybody who remembers what to do with that block instantly knew and had that reaction. For me, like, that might be my favorite moment in gaming since we've been doing this podcast, because it sounds stupid, and this is such an old man thing to say, but it like legitimizes my 31 years worth of playing video games. It's like it all kind of culminated in that moment that it's like, okay, it's 2018, I'm playing this crazy puzzle platformer, and then something from my childhood shows up and I know exactly what to do with that. And one thing that actually annoys me about that is I'm sure there's like teenagers out there that, because of the internet, because PewDiePie told them, they know all about the white block too. But just for me, like, just to have that
Validation,
instinctual reaction to seeing that block and knowing exactly what to do with it, and knowing that the creators put it in there for me to know what to do with it. It was just awesome.
Oh God, Corey, I am so glad that you brought that up. I forgot about that, but man, when I saw that white block, I was like, hey, I know what to do here.
Yeah.
That's so good. That's going.
Yeah.
I'm pretty tempted to pick that as my favorite too.
I'm glad I thought of it.
Awesome. Yeah.
Because I struggled with these, and I used to write them down. Like, this is why I miss having notes for these episodes, because I used to write them down and I could go back and refer to all of them, but I had to go off of memory.
No, that's a great sell.
I had to go to the bathroom real quick.
You missed my
I think
past
Dan would
argument.
agree with that.
Celeste,
Yeah.
the white block part.
Yeah.
Celeste was one of the games I had on my list too. Not that specific moment, but the elation you got when you beat something you were trying to beat for a long time. This happened to me a couple times when I was playing Celeste. I would go through a really tricky section in one try, and I was floored that I was able to do that. It happened to me maybe 2 or 3 times when I was able to make it through a really hard spot in one try without dying. That was awesome. And then I'm kind of on board too with Will's Smash weekend. It's a series of moments.
Throw another one in real quick
Yep.
that I had with Red Dead. Jake actually jogged my memory about it in the chat.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember which town it was, but in one of the bars, Corey, it's the one where you can go upstairs and play poker.
Mm-hmm.
You know which one I'm talking about?
It's early. It might be Valentine.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think it's Valentine, but anyway. So I went in there, and there was like a gang of outlaws standing at the bar, 2 or 3 guys, and like I went up to the bar to get a drink just because it was fun to go in there and have a beer, whatever. And they looked at me. The one guy looks at me and he tells me to step away from the bar, like, you're not welcome to have a drink here. And so I said, well, fuck you. And I asked the bartender for a shot, took my shot of whiskey, and just started swinging. And we went at it, and I beat up all the outlaws and went to bed, and it was awesome.
Nice.
I thought you were going to talk about the Lenny scene.
No, that was great too, but this was more like a personal one that I had when I walked in there, and they told me I couldn't have a drink, and I was like, fuck you guys, I'm going to have whiskey, and then I'm going to fight all of you. It was so good.
Again, it's one of those unscripted moments in the game, where you could just have a fun experience.
Yeah.
All right, what are we thinking here? Go ahead.
Just
Corey.
quickly, it made me think of my unscripted scene, and I had a prisoner, a bounty that I was riding with, and I got attacked by a bear, and I was able to take the bounty off of my horse and like throw it at the bear, and the bear went over the bounty that was tied up, and I took off.
That's awesome.
Sorry, just had to throw that in there.
Just have to be able to run faster than the bounty.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There you go. I like it. I guess for me, it would be between the White Block and Celeste and Smash Weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to say no to Smash Weekend, although
Yeah.
I do feel strongly about the White Block
The,
moment.
the problem with Smash Weekend is it's a series of moments.
Yeah.
It's not a moment in a particular game.
Good argument, actually.
It's a fun experience we had centered around the game itself, but it wasn't
Right.
in the actual
Yeah, that's
game.
fair. I agree with that. So I think I'm going to say that the Celeste White Block was pretty fucking cool.
Okay.
I back that.
All right. No Red Dead?
Yeah, I mean, they're all cool, but I think the way that Corey really sold the White Block, because I had the same thought
Yeah.
when I just totally forgot that it happened, but I was like, oh man, that is so cool.
Yep.
Like,
All right.
literally everybody that plays this game is probably going to know what that is.
Uh-huh.
And it's also cool if people don't know what it is, because then I'm like, haha, well,
Yeah.
you're too young. You don't fucking remember Super Mario Brothers 3 when this happened. Like,
Yeah.
it's just so it's like a secret that everybody knows, but like also it's kind of special to you, you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's awesome.
I'm cool.
Well, I mean, speaking of dopamine shots, it's a dopamine shot. It's the payoff was like 32 years, right? Or however long ago Mario 3 came off?
25 years?
25
Yeah, it's like
years?
it's coming full circle almost.
Yeah.
You know? And completely unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm good with that. So the winner, 2018 best moment Thummy is Celeste for the White Block. White Block moment. That's good stuff right there. All right. Next category is the old standby. So this award goes to a game that came out any year that we just keep playing. Eric, what do you got?
I'm gonna go with Rocket League, I guess, man.
I'm shocked. Shocked.
Absolutely shocked to hear that.
Yeah.
I still play it very regularly,
Uh-huh.
even if it's just a couple matches here or there.
Uh-huh.
I've played it on PC, Switch, PS4, Xbox, anything you can play it on. I've purchased it and played it.
Okay.
It's so fucking good.
I wonder what.
Still my favorite game ever.
Do you think they're working on a mobile version for phones?
I don't know.
I could see that working
Yeah.
with tilt controls on the phone, maybe. But
Wouldn't be ideal, but
no, it wouldn't.
Would not?
It would have. You would have to have only mobile players playing against only mobile players.
right?
Will, old standby.
I got Dragon Ball Fighters because I played that all year because it came out in January, and that's kind of what I played the entire year. And then next I have Pokemon and also Stardew Valley.
Oh, Stardew Valley. That's a good one. Corey, old standby.
Yeah, Rocket League.
Rocket League.
I have Hearthstone on there too, but I mean,
Yeah.
just can't put the damn game down.
I wish I had gotten more into Hearthstone. I really do. I think I'd love it, but I at this point, I'm like, fuck me. I'm just too far out.
Well, the thing I know, I don't play the ladder anymore. I just do the arena and
Yeah.
the tavern brawls because it's just too competitive now and it's not fun.
Yeah.
So I don't even bother with that game mode.
So yeah, my games were Breath of the Wild and Super Mario World. I've played more than I thought because of this SNES Classic. I played through it this year. I played through it last year, and then Breath of the Wild. I know that's kind of a new one, but I played that for probably 100 hours this year alone. Good stuff. So, Stardew Valley actually, Will, I would also like to add to my list now that I think about it, because I put another 75 hours on that this year.
Classic.
So, but I'm willing to defer to Rocket League here, only because that game came out a few years ago.
When is something gonna beat that?
When you guys stop
when
playing
Rocket
it,
League 2 comes out.
Yeah, when
When
we
Rock-
stop playing it, yeah.
when Rocket League 2 comes out, yeah.
Yeah.
They don't need to release Rocket League 2.
No, I think it'd be a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Rocket League it is then, huh? Will,
Yeah.
you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with Rocket League.
Okay, so the
So
winner
good.
for the old standby for the 2018 Thumbies is Rocket League. All right.
Water is wet.
Water, in other news, water is wet, yes. All right, so our final category, the 2018 Game of the Year. This award goes to the best game of 2018. Eric, nominees.
Oh, yeah. I've got 5 nominees I would like to place.
Mm-hmm.
Red Dead Redemption 2, Smash,
Mhm.
Forza Horizon 4, Octopath Traveler, and Celeste.
Okay. William.
So I have 4. I've got Octopath Traveler, Hollow Knight, Smash Ultimate, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Okay. Corey.
I have 5. Red Dead Redemption 2, Celeste, Octopath Traveler, Ni no Kuni 2, and Smash.
Okay. I've got 3. I've got Smash Ultimate, I've got Celeste, and I have Octopath Traveler. Did I say 2? 3? 3. I have 3.
3.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about it here.
Did you say Smash, Dan?
I did. Smash, Celeste, and OPT, Octopath Traveler.
So it sounds like all 4 of us picked Octopath and Smash,
Uh-huh.
but I'm not really ready to give up Red Dead because of that.
I was gonna say. I mean, you guys make your case.
I'm not ready to give up Odyssey yet either.
Did you had Odyssey on your list, Corey?
No.
No.
Oh, you didn't.
I don't think I played it enough to put it on my list. I think I only played it like 7 hours or something like that.
Okay. I feel, at least on the games on my list, I would feel most strongly about Red Dead and Smash. I would put ahead of Octopath for me.
Yep. I would definitely put Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers is my pick for Game of the Year.
Okay.
Barely over Celeste. Octopath Traveler would be a distant third for me.
All right, where's everybody else standing on
So,
those?
okay, let me say Smash is probably the one, obviously, the one that we're all have as high regard. I want to make a case for Odyssey, though. So, with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I want to start by saying that the assassins that you get to play as are the best assassins, like, character-wise, I think, in the game since Ezio. I don't think they've really had a protagonist that they've really nailed since then. But I think Alexios and Cassandra do it. Next, the open world that Odyssey has is kind of amazing. It's on par with games like The Witcher, like Red Dead with world building. It's pretty incredible how big it is, but how filled with stuff it is to do. And this is a Ubisoft game. I was blown away by that. There's a moment in the game where on the very first island, I'm going to spoil this because it's not very far into the game, but this is a moment that's kind of cool, that you can save a group of people in a village who have a sickness, or you can kill them. You can do what the priest wants you to do and kill them. So I decided to save these people, thinking, I'm being nice. I was asked to do this by another person. This character is an important character to the main character. So I was like, yeah, I'll save him. So I save him. I go on my boat, take off. Like an hour later, the ship captain goes, hey, I got bad news about Catalonia. A plague broke out on it, killed almost everybody on the island. So, like, one small quest that I did ended up killing an entire island.
You were responsible for that.
And it was my fault. It's stuff like that. There's really cool side quests that I would never have thought Assassin's Creed side quests would be kind of interesting and a lot of fun, but there's ones like where you have to hunt legendary animals and get pelts and stuff like that. There's like places that you go to Sparta, Athens, Atlantis. Like there's crazy places that you go and crazy things you do. Your character is so powerful and so much fun to play as. Like I kind of equated a little bit to kind of how Saints Row 4 is, where your character just has these kind of crazy powers that you can just rattle off. Like there's this one skill where you can throw your spear of Leonidas and like chain assassination, so you can just go through areas really quickly. And like this is an Assassin's Creed game where they were like so hell bent on being historically, like, this is exactly like it's a linear sort of game, semi-open world, and like the complete change that the game has done, I think is amazing, and so much fun to play. Like, I've only put 20 hours into this game, and I want to keep playing more. It's telling a cool story. There's so much stuff going on. It's really, I think it's easily the best Assassin's Creed game, and I think this is a special game that's going to get forgotten about because of God of War and Red Dead.
Uh-huh. It sounds like the quests are a little bit like The Witcher. You can't see the end. Just because you do something good doesn't mean it's going to turn out good for everybody. Which I like that. That's interesting.
Yeah, and the Greece time like area is beautiful. But go on, Corey.
I was going to bring up a couple things, Will. You made a point earlier about the Greek mythology and how like you can relate a little bit to that, and it's enough to what's the word I'm looking for? Keep you in the game based on your limited knowledge of Greece.
Yeah.
And I totally agreed with that when you said that. And I will say, honestly, if this was another year, I would probably have AC Odyssey as my number 2. But this year, I played so few games and committed more time to games that I liked, that Assassin's Creed Odyssey is just one I didn't have time to get to. Whereas in years prior, that would probably still qualify it for my list because most of the games I didn't beat on my Game of the Year lists. So in this case, all the games on my list I beat except for Smash, but that doesn't really count because
it doesn't count.
Does that have a beating it? I mean, if you go through a classic mode, you get the credits to roll.
Yeah.
Takes
I would say
10
classic
minutes.
mode.
But my point is, I liked Assassin's Creed Odyssey enough in the 7 hours I played it to make it my number 2, but I felt guilty because there were these other games that I really liked that I'm able to show that I liked because I beat them.
Mm-hmm. So you see where I'm coming from with
absolutely
what
100%, and I fully intend to go back to Assassin's Creed Odyssey soon.
And like that ship stuff that we loved so much from Assassin's Creed 4, because I mean, realistically, we didn't play Origins, so we would all probably say Black Flag was the best Assassin's Creed game, right?
Yeah.
For me.
So Odyssey's got everything Black Flag has, but instead of the terrible jankiness of Assassin's Creed, where the stealth is bad, where you're trying to climb things and it just doesn't work, that like I have not had an issue with my 20 hours of trying to climb something and not being able to do it. I don't know if it's because like ancient Greece doesn't have like these tall skyscraper like buildings or whatever. I don't know if that's part of it. But they get rid of a lot of like the puzzleness of trying to climb things, so it's a lot less frustrating. And not to mention the combat is so much better now. Like they've really fixed it. So I'm Smash is probably going to be the game that I pick as my number 1, but I do think Assassin's Creed Odyssey really is going to get lost in this year. And I think everybody should really play it because I do think it's a pretty special game.
Okay. Does Eric or Corey want to make a case for Red Dead?
It's kind of hard, honestly, aside from what was already said, to convince people that Red Dead Redemption 2 is the game that it is, because so much of its excellence, I mean, yes, it's a technical achievement, but so much of what differentiates itself from other games is the storytelling, and without playing it, you wouldn't know.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm not going to try that hard to convince you guys. I don't know if Eric wants to, but
no, I agree with you, Corey. But I personally, as much as I like Smash, I have a hard time giving Game of the Year to a fighting game. Even with all the extra content with the World of Light and all that, I have a hard time saying, okay, it's a really good game. It's well made. It handles well. It's a ton of fun to play with people. But when I look at that side by side with Red Dead Redemption and what that game was able to achieve, I have a very hard time saying, all right, Smash should be Game of the Year.
Right.
Yeah, and let me just say I'm more prepared to argue against Smash than I am for Red Dead Redemption 2 for the reasons Eric just said, but also with Smash, like, it's not really doing anything different.
Yeah.
It's another Smash game, which is good.
Yeah. they add, it has all, like Will said before, it has a shit ton of content,
Right.
which, like you said, is great and everything. But I think when you're looking at that versus a game like Red Dead or even AC Odyssey, for as strongly as Will feels about Odyssey, I would even possibly put that ahead of Smash, even though I didn't play it. Just because of the kind of game it is and what it brings to the table.
Mm-hmm.
So are we? What are our thoughts there as you having Smash as your number one, Dan?
Yeah, what do you think, Dan?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I didn't play two of the games that you guys are arguing feverishly for, so I can't really comment on whether I think it should be Assassin's Creed Odyssey or Red Dead Redemption 2. I didn't play. I played very briefly Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Not a great experience with it because of the frame rate, but yeah, I mean, like I said, Smash Brothers 2 or Smash Brothers and Celeste are very close 1 and 2 also for me.
Well,
so.
Let me do you guys all have Celeste but me?
I have Celeste, yeah.
Yeah.
I have Celeste.
I want to hear your guys' arguments for Celeste because I played Red Dead. And while it's my favorite Rockstar game that they've put out, I also fell asleep 2 times within the first 3 hours of the game, and never ended up going back because I just couldn't get through it.
Yeah.
Are you waiting for me to tell you why you should go back to it? Because
I'm probably not. I want to hear what arguments for Celeste.
Well, for me, it goes back to the complete experience. It was one of those games that the whole time I was playing, I had a smile on my face. And rarely do I get that experience of playing games nowadays where I'm having fun. Like, it's such a rare thing for me to have fun playing a game. I play games for a lot of other reasons, but it's rare that a game I can walk away from saying, I had a great time with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, Eric.
I was just going to say, the games that I have on my list are all games that while I was playing it at the time when it was fresh to me were games that I thought in my head this could be a potential game of the year game.
Mm-hmm.
Every game that I have on here, that's the reason why.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for me, Red Dead is my number one. I would be okay with giving it to Celeste.
Huh?
I have a harder time justifying Smash.
Yeah.
The more that I sit here and think about it.
Uh-huh. That's fair.
Yeah, I can't in good conscience give it to Smash. I would be okay with a Celeste or even an Octopath Traveler. I would be more than okay with Red Dead 2, but that's a harder sell at this point.
So, are we saying here that there's a possibility that Celeste or even Octopath Traveler could be our game of the year?
For me, it's either Celeste or Red Dead Redemption.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, for me, Celeste is a close number 2 to Smash Brothers. Octopath Traveler is a very distant third.
Yeah, and I had mine ranked as I told them: Red Dead Redemption 2, Celeste, Octopath, Ni no Kuni 2, and Smash.
Mm-hmm. All right.
The only reason why I asked about Celeste is because Smash isn't going to win. Odyssey is not going to win, and 2 of us. One didn't like it, and one didn't play Red Dead.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be one of those we're gonna have to settle?
I don't think that should, be the reason it doesn't win.
Well, one not liking it could be a reason why it wouldn't win the Thumbstick Athletes Game of the Year.
Yeah.
And I just for whatever reason cannot get into Rockstar games at all.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was just because it was too slow for me. I could not.
It doesn't feel like a Rockstar game to me, though. It really doesn't.
I was going to say the same thing.
But yeah, so if your fear is, I don't like Rockstar games, I don't think you need to worry about that with Red Dead.
Yeah, because I wouldn't say Corey's a huge Rockstar games guy.
No, I wasn't crazy about Grand Theft Auto.
But you did like Red Dead 1, right?
It bricked my console, man. I hate that game.
Out
so
of
did
love.
Red Dead 2.
Yeah.
No, yes, it did.
Yeah, it
That's
did.
true. Yeah.
Yep.
Beardless says, right the wrong of the Keeleys. Give Celeste its due.
It did win Best Indie Game. I mean, we've given Celeste a lot of love here. Best moment. You know,
Yeah.
most pleasant surprise. I mean, like I said, I'm okay with Celeste winning. I think the right pick is Red Dead, but I'm okay with Celeste.
That's my thoughts exactly. So
I think Celeste is the only way we're going to come to
Any kind of
a
consensus.
group decision here.
All
Yeah.
right.
I'm going to have to settle again.
Well, I think we're all settling a little bit here, right? I mean,
Yeah, I guess
it
we
was
are,
it was
really.
my
I didn't
number
even play the
two.
game.
Will's settling quite a bit.
I can't. Not even having played it.
I'm still when I say I'm settling, I'm just still being bitter about The Last of Us.
Oh, it was BioShock Infinite, wasn't it?
Oh, what a travesty! Unbelievable.
Well, Eric, look at it this way. All of the years that Corey and I have just randomly been able to dictate Game of the Year,
Oh,
for whatever reason.
Well, I can assure you that this does not make up for that. Yeah, Game of the Year is usually a shit show on this podcast. Usually ends in just
tears,
absolute, yeah,
tears.
a mess.
Eric's
Don't sleep
usually
for
in
3 days.
disbelief.
Shambles by the end.
Well,
But I think it's got to be
are
Celeste.
we making it official?
Yeah,
Wow.
I think Celeste is your winner.
Honestly, I didn't see that coming.
No,
I really
neither
didn't.
did I.
Oh, I thought it had a chance.
Yeah, I didn't.
Absolutely.
I thought it was. I thought it was going to be Smash Brothers. To be honest with you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did.
I thought we were gonna settle for Smash or Octo Path.
No.
Only because I didn't think we were gonna come to a consensus over Red Dead and Odyssey. Because
Mhm.
nobody played Odyssey and Dan didn't play Red Dead.
Yeah, well, hopefully Odyssey can win 2019's 2018 Game of the Year.
Yeah.
With me building it up, I hope you guys all like it as much as.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna play it.
I would like to play it.
I mean, I'm learning Greek for God's sakes.
hey guys, I'm gonna let you chat, but I've gotta go. I got a hard stop right now.
All right.
All right, buddy.
Peace
Bye.
out.
Hey, bud.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're just finishing up here. I guess we'll make it official and say the Thumbstick Athletes podcast Thummy Award for the 2018 Game of the Year goes to Celeste.
Yeah.
Wow. Well done.
Yeah, Celeste.
Okay.
It
Great
just-
game.
Yeah, there were some good games this year.
Oh yeah, really good year. Very good year for games.
I mean, we didn't even discuss God of War because none of us played it, but like that was
Yeah.
one that was.
Speaking of travesties on our list, we didn't play Spider-Man either.
No
Yeah.
Some of
Spider-Man,
us
yeah.
didn't even want to. I can't understand that.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I'll
I'm
take the
most
fall for that one.
disappointed in, Eric.
That's all right, Dan. I get it. I
yeah.
just don't agree with it.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
All right. So we want to stick a fork in this year's Thumbies?
Yeah, I think that was good.
Yeah,
a
it
good
was.
pace to the Thumbies this year.
I was worried it was going to take a really long time, so I wanted
I'm
to keep
glad it
things
didn't,
moving. Yeah.
because I had a rough one last night. And
Oh.
I didn't go to bed.
You still a little hungover, are you?
No, I honestly, I don't really
Just
want to get
tired.
into it too much, but I was this close to blackout territory last
Oh
night.
boy.
The wife let me sleep until 10:30, and I woke up feeling great.
Oh, nice.
Couldn't believe
Wow.
it. I thought I was fucked today, but
Uh-huh.
felt great.
Nice. Glad to
Good
hear
time.
it. All right. Well, that'll do it for episode 389 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Eric.
Well.
Corey.
Thanks for listening, and get out of my basement.